All right, let's go grab the link real quick. Ooh, yeah, also I think it's playing desktop audio, because I got the stream on technically for a second there. Make sure the actual desktop audio is off. Okay, we're good. Okay, everyone. Xenoblade time, baby. Right, and then let's paste in the Twitch link to Twitter as well. Alright, we got that. Should be good to go, I think, with that. So let's close some of this other stuff. Close that, keep that open. What's going on, King Trainwreck 08? Welcome to the stream. You're the first one here, which is funny because usually it's Jispy. But welcome. Glad to see you. We're going to be playing some Xenoblade in a second. I'm going to have to recap what happened, and the reason why we're not in the game is because literally the cutscenes are going to start right after I actually start, which, you know, would be kind of a problem if I just immediately had cutscenes playing before at least a couple people got here. Because we ended off last time on kind of a big, major story event, and kind of makes things a little complicated. It really sucks, too, because I wanted to grind off screen if I could, but then it's like, oh, well, I can't, because it's just going to skip all the cutscenes, so, like, it's not a good idea. So, let's see. I think we got it posted everywhere. I don't know if Jispy's actually... I hope he's awake. He just posted, like, whatever, 15 minutes prior to me actually starting the stream. But it's always a question. Oh, he isn't here. Never mind. Okay. I used to be a guy who yelled first, but then I had to get some candy. Ah, I see. Well, welcome to the stream, Jispy. We're going to be continuing Xenoblade. And we had a lot happen last episode. It's really the best way to explain it, but I'm going to recap just in case. So early in the stream, Melia ended up having to go through with this ceremony so she could be the rightful leader of her people. And this was a trap by her mother to try to get her killed because Melia is actually a half-breed human and High Entia, or a Hom and High Entia. So we went down there to save her, first having to get dropped down a chute and almost dying because Ryan decided to press a button and didn't think, wow, that might go poorly. But we managed to save her, and it was all great and dandy until the Mechon decided to make their appearance because shit's kind of going down. And so they all run to Prison Island to try and deal with this because Shulk had seen a vision earlier on that something major was going to happen at Prison Island, but he didn't know what. And one of the major things is that we let out this weird giant creature named Zanza that we don't really understand completely right now, who then unlocked the true power of the Monado and died. We have no fucking idea what's going on because he seems to be... He seems to know a lot more, but we don't really know jack shit. We managed to almost kill Metalface, but he got away. But most worryingly of all, one of the Mechon opened up to reveal that Fiora, who we've assumed has been dead since the beginning of the game, was actually in it, but she had absolutely no reaction to seeing any of the people that she supposedly loved, including her literal brother, meaning that we have absolutely no idea what the fuck's going on with her. And now everybody's kind of just been faced with that. Melia's father died in the battle too. That was a thing. So really just shit kind of went down. A lot of people are dead. And we have to kind of pick up the pieces now. You totally thought I was going to say took an arrow to the knee. Yeah, I kind of assumed you would, but you said something else. And Fiora had a new Power Rangers nightgown. She did indeed. It was quite nice looking. But yeah, so we'll talk a little more about Fiora in a bit, because I do want to discuss this twist a little bit, but we're going to watch the cutscenes first and get through this, because I think it'd be kind of weird to not. And then we'll talk about some of that stuff, because I think it would be, I think it's interesting, and I've had some stuff to say about it that I haven't gotten to say up to this point, because I couldn't really spoil it. Even though Smash Brothers already did.
Crown Princess Melia's accession will take place 1 year from today. Until such time, as decreed by the Crown Princess, I shall assume imperial duties as regent. If there is anyone who objects to said decision, state your grievances now.
All the ministries
By the way,
are
she's evil too.
unanimous. We have no objection to Her Majesty's decree.
To each and every one of you, our thanks.
If I may, Your Highness, I would like to propose a round-table discussion on strategy concerning the Mekon.
Ah, what to do about the Mekon? Our defenses must be shored up immediately.
Not only our defenses, Your Highness.
Do you suggest an offensive approach, while the capital still licks its wounds?
The Ministry of Research has the ideal solution.
There was a lot of stuff I partially understood. Yeah, it happens. Again, we streamed for a while last stream, and there was just a lot of story. We're still doing story.
Friends act strange. A friend sad? Ah, Ricky's sad too, because of empty belly.
Ricky, somebody died.
Ricky, we already ate. Us Homs don't get upset just because we're hungry.
Not hungry? Oh, Hum must have small bellies. Oh, Ricky jealous.
We've got to get our minds off this somehow. Dumban's locked himself away ever since we came back. Is it because of the girl who was operating that Mekon?
Melia, how are you?
What do you mean? If you were talking about father, I'm fine. I have no choice but to look to the future.
You're stronger than me, Melia.
Do not mock me. More importantly, it is time you tell me who she is.
Yes, I will be talking about the
We've known
direct, by
her
the
all
way.
our lives. We thought she was killed in Colony 9.
I just don't talk too much during cutscenes. But yeah, so she's not dead, but sure doesn't seem like she remembers anything at all.
She didn't even recognize us. She's not the Fiora I remember.
It looked a lot like Fiora. But if it was her, then I can't imagine how Dumban feels.
What did he mean?
Charlotte, I think it's kind of obvious.
Fiora is Dumban's sister.
I didn't know.
Oh, okay, never mind. She wasn't aware of that. I forgot.
Is this Fiora important to Shulk?
Important? She's more than important. She's the reason we're out here.
If that really was Fiora, why didn't she reply to me?
Did I miss anything? No, they're just trying to kind of deal with the fact that they saw their dead girlfriend slash sister and trying to process fucking everything that happened. Alright, so I know there's not going to be enough time to talk about all the big shit, so I'm just going to... There's a lot to talk about, but we have obviously a cutscene coming. I'll go accept this fucking quest while we're doing this, because this is definitely what Shulk wanted to do. The Ministry of Research has a solution. Show them my poops. I don't think that's going to work real well, because pretty much everybody else has already seen them, so... And honestly, kind of low quality. Let's see. But yeah, so we'll be talking about the direct. Once we get through this string of cutscenes, which I hope shouldn't take too much longer, but I have no idea. Because I want to talk about some stuff regarding it, some predictions, since I think that'll be a fun thing to talk about during the stream. Let's see. Wow, there was a lot of quests. Nah, someone never figured out how to tune his future scope. I guess I didn't. And yeah, you didn't miss much anything. We just started, so like it's just been some cutscenes and nothing too crazy. Why am I even here? I have a 1,200 word essay due at midnight, and I ain't even 100 words in. 1,200 words, I don't think is actually that hard, I guess. To be fair, the scripts that I write are usually way, way longer, but, honestly, like, the thing with writing an essay is the best thing to do is literally just to sit and write it. It doesn't matter if it's literally garbage. If everything you're writing is just complete shit, you need to do it and get it done, and then you can fix it later. Worst comes to worst, you at least have an idea. But also, I had a strategy for writing essays that I used to use whenever I had to write them, where basically they always had that weird, like, oh, you do it this specific way, you write like a pre-write. No, what I would do is I would just sit down and I go, okay, I'm gonna go take a walk and I'm gonna decide, okay, what do I gotta write about, and I'm gonna come up with the main points I want to make, and then I'm just gonna come up with how I want to expand those as much as I can, so I can just pad the essay out to get to the length. Then once you hit that, it's not a problem, and even if it's not good, most of the time they don't really care. Sometimes taking a break makes the words flow. Sometimes I find reading a book, even just a page or so, can cause the words to come out. I kind of got to be inspired sometimes, but that's if it's something I care about. If it's an essay, I can just throw it out. Doesn't even matter.
I've been looking for you. So this is where you were.
Shulk. Apologies. Was everyone worried?
Of course. Me especially.
Hmm?
It's just... I've been thinking about Fiora. And I can't help wondering.
Wondering what?
You saw how Fiora acted. It was like she didn't even recognize us.
Yes. It's unsettling. But Shulk, don't get me wrong. I'm not sad. Even if she doesn't recognize me, I'm glad to know she's alive.
Dunban...
You see, Fiora was born many years after me. And, not long afterwards, we lost our father to a Mechon. It was left to me to protect and raise her, almost like a father.
I was always jealous that she had you as her brother.
Ah yes. You and Fiora used to be inseparable.
Yeah.
I need to tell you something. I always thought, if Fiora were to be with anyone, it should be you.
What? But Ryan hangs out with her just as much as me.
Yeah, he does. But Fiora doesn't like him in that way.
Oh. I see.
He's a nice guy. Reminds me of myself when I was his age. All reckless and hot-headed. Probably why he's not right for her. Listen, Shulk.
Yes?
A lost life can never be returned. But she's alive. It doesn't matter that she's lost her memory.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Fiora and I have spent our entire lives together. The memory of that can't have disappeared completely. It's up to us. We have to help her remember. Help me, Shulk. Help me get her back.
You know I will.
Okay. Let's go tell the others.
I would say it's I'm just enjoying the cutscenes. I like this part of the story.
Back.
Have you gathered your thoughts?
Yes. Sorry to be a nuisance.
Shulk? You too?
Yep. All thanks to Dunban.
I'm glad.
Forgive me. His Highness Callian summons you.
You think something's happened?
We won't know until we get there.
Alright. I feel bad for King Trainwreck because I know he wants me to talk about the direct, but it's like, I knew this was going to have a lot of story. It's just like, man, it's going to take a little bit. Let's see. Help me get her back. Yeah, I think Shulk was already planning to. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think he would have said, nah, deal's off. I'm done. Hi, I'm Bird Armor Guy. Do you got any wood I can peck at? Well, I mean, they do have they got bird wings at bare minimum, so you know they're closer to birds than they would be. But I guess well, I can't really say much about their lineage, so because that's like actually mega fucking spoilers. Let's see, stop talking about wood, old man. Also, I think it's funny. I don't think I've gone over here yet, like even once, or no, I did, but I didn't get the actual like it wasn't a cutscene, but I didn't actually get the little bit of EXP I got for doing that. But I don't know. So we're gonna go see what Callian's deal is, because he does want to see us. I already know what his deal is, obviously, but you know, I like how I have to talk about this stuff as if like I don't know exactly what's going on half the time, and it's like, no, I know the whole story. It's just kind of like, I don't know. That's the fun part about playing an RPG for people.
I apologize for calling you at short notice.
It's fine. Is anything wrong?
I must apologize to you all. Forgive our hubris. We High Entier were arrogant enough to idly sit behind our defenses, safe in the knowledge that Mechonis lies a great distance from our land, and we were wrong. Our decision to ignore the Mechon assault on your homeland was wrong.
Your Highness, does this mean...
Yes, Shulk. We will face the dangers ahead together.
Brother.
Which leads me to my request. After setting eyes on a group consisting of Homs, Nopon, and High Entier alike, I realized an allied army must be formed. I ask that you act as ambassadors for the assembly of this force. Tell me your thoughts, Shulk.
I need time before I make a decision.
Does Shulk not wish to aid us in our mission?
I do not believe that to be true.
Then why?
Shulk has other people to consider. That wasn't like you, Shulk.
I'm sorry.
You know you can talk to me.
It's Fiora. That's why you're hesitating.
Yeah.
Knew it. You wouldn't think twice otherwise.
I just don't know.
Find her, Shulk.
Melia,
I used to believe my father did not love me. Until the day he died.
Okay, wow, fuck, that's
If you do
something to
not
drop on
grasp
us.
the importance of loved ones until after they are gone, that is simply too late.
You're right, Melia. I've made up my mind. I'm going to get Fiora back.
You don't have to do this. I'll go and look for her myself. The burden should be mine.
No. I want her back as much as you.
Leave the ambassador stuff to me, Shulk. I'll probably make a mess of it. But we're a team. You can count on me.
I'm afraid that is my duty, Rhyne. I am of both High Entier and Hom's blood. I am the Crown Princess, and of mixed heritage. Thus, I am best suited to carry out this task.
That means we won't...
Yes. I will remain here. We must say goodbye.
Bro, fuck
Is
no.
that what you really want? Yes. But promise me, when you find her, you'll come back. I'll be here waiting for you.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
You need time, dude. No, the correct answer is yes. Yeah, it does seem like that. This cutscene is a little weird.
It's probably a good idea if I go and tell Callian myself.
I am sure he already understands. Besides, it's likely that the ministers are harassing him at this present moment. We should spare him any further inconvenience.
Then... this is goodbye.
Yes. Come back as soon as you can. We are in great need of your help.
Got it.
Why are you still here?
Listen, I'll keep an eye on Shulk for you.
Whatever can you mean?
Well, it's a risky strategy, letting Shulk go off and just hoping he'll come back to you. Shulk and I are merely... Yeah. But remember, the longer he's away, the more chance his feelings for you will fade. But once we find this Fiora, I will personally whisk him back here in a heartbeat. Don't give up.
I appreciate it.
Great. Don't worry, Melia. I'm on your side.
Brother?
The cutscene was stiffly delivered, but you gotta remember this game had a
Just
low
on your way
budget
out,
for
I see.
localization.
It's not what...
I'm sorry, Your Highness. About your offer, we must humbly decline.
I see. Very well. Let us hope my sister does not shed too many tears.
I stay because I must, brother.
There's 2 Melias.
Rhyme wrong. This Melly smell different.
Yes. We need Melia to learn more of the lands of Bionis. But she is still bound to handle public matters. Hence, another Melia.
Callian.
Your Highness, Crown Princess. As your humble subject, I formally request the following.
Speak.
I request that you accompany Shulk in his quest to find the Mekon that attacked Alcamoth.
Are you sure?
Shulk, I am aware of everything. Go forth and follow your heart. There will come a day when we need you, but it is not today.
Your Highness, that means a lot to me.
That is one cool prince.
If only someone had his sensitivity.
Sensitivity? Well, I'm sensitive.
The jury's out on that one. That's a relief.
We have recently received a report that the silver-faced Mekon fled to Galahad Fortress, the Mekon stronghold at Sword Valley. It will be a treacherous path. My sister is in your hands.
Thank you, Callian. I will keep her safe.
Regent, I accept your request. I will return victorious with Shulk.
I am most pleased.
Leaving without me?
Do you want to come?
To reach Galahad Fortress, you will need to travel through Valak Mountain on the right arm of the Bionis. The snow-covered mountains are fraught with danger. Those unfamiliar to them risk never coming back.
Of course you would be familiar with that region.
Then there's no point in wasting time.
Leave the Allied force to me. I am not known for my diplomacy, but call it pride. I shall succeed.
We'll join you as soon as we can.
I look forward to the day. Heroes of Bionis, make us proud.
You see? Now we're getting some respect.
We're back to this again, are we?
See you soon, Callian.
Ryan being an ambassador sounds like trouble waiting to happen. Well, maybe. You never know. You know, he's pretty determined. He's just kind of not always capable. Melia, you've only known Shulk for, what, a day? Time skips notwithstanding, and you already want to jump to Xenoblade? I don't think this has been a day. Again, they had to cross the entirety of, like, this entire, like, half of the Titan in total. I don't really think that there's really been a day here. In fact, we've had multiple days just in the capital itself. Between a lot of these cutscenes, it's implied that there are, like, whole days happening where they're just sitting there doing fucking jack shit. That's why they've been so frustrated by stuff. So no, it's definitely been a little bit more than that. But also, you gotta realize this is a little princess who's basically been stuck in royalty and basically unable to do much of anything her whole life. And she can't even, like, go out in public without having a mask on. Like, yeah, I'm not shocked that the first time she actually gets to talk to somebody regularly that it's gonna go like this. You know? Also, I mean, he's fucking Shulk, so, like, why wouldn't she? I'm aware of everything. Okay, Dud, why is Fiora driving a Mechon? Yeah, I don't think he's gonna tell them that, you know? That's spoilers. Why would he reveal that? My sister is in your hands. Phrasing. I don't know. He might want that. Oh, hello, Isaiah. Good job you're playing Fortnite, and I'm glad to see it. See, random. You don't get to say that after the wood crack earlier.
Hey.
Let's talk to you. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is just one of those things where somebody asked us to ask some people about some experiences, and it's not really that important. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, so anyways, got a couple things I'm gonna talk about, but I'll talk about the direct first since I think we should wait for the story stuff. Then thank goodness she didn't run into the spawn of monsters that is Juju. Yeah, well, that is good, but I don't think she would have fallen for Juju for a number of reasons, one of them being that he's kind of young. But yeah, so Nintendo announced a Direct this morning after, like, the last several weeks of people all going back and forth on whether we were even going to get a Direct before September, which I found it really weird that people were so 100% sure it wasn't happening, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why are you sure of this? Like, what the fuck in your head is like, oh, hey, wow, no, we just cannot get a Direct because, I don't know, fucking... And, like, I haven't been able to find a reason even why people have been like that, but, yeah, it's been fucking really weird. And, I kind of figured we'd probably get something, considering the last game we know about is Pikmin 4, which doesn't come out until frickin', like... Or it comes out in July, and then that's it. There's no other games. Like, they don't have anything announced, so, like, I very highly doubt they're gonna just have the year end with Pikmin 4. That seems really stupid. But... Let's see. She can't even go in public without a mask on. The 2020 experience, you're grounded. I'm already seeing people clamor for Mother 3 on Switch. I mean, like... Yeah, I'd be fucking hyped. That'd be great. I would hope we could do that. That would be wonderful. See, I didn't really think of that. So basically, she likes Shulk because he's the first half-decent guy who came along that wasn't a blood relative. Pretty much, especially when you consider the fact that, like, literally some of the people in her own family wanted to kill her. So it's like, hey, wow, this guy saved her. Like, literally saved her fucking life. This is the first person she saw after she almost died. Like, yeah, I'm not shocked that, that she was at least somewhat of a fan. And it's not like Shulk doesn't look pretty decent either. Like, it's fucking, he's got a lot going for him. Wait, did they actually announce Mother 3 on Switch? No. Like, I haven't seen anything. In fact, obviously, besides one thing, we don't know what's in the Direct, but again, I'll talk about it because now there's another cutscene.
We will need to traverse Sword Valley if we wish to reach Galahad Fortress.
If Colony 6 were in better shape, we could have taken a pod from there. How are we getting there?
We will take the path down from the Bionis right arm. Sword Valley is where the arm meets the Mechonis sword.
Aha. So that's our route.
As I said earlier, it is a snow-covered mountain range, and you should expect a tough climb. Are we all ready?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Quite. First, we will head through Machna Forest. This short-range pod will be our transport. All aboard, people.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's ever getting an official localization, but I'm not going to count it out forever. It just kind of depends on how Nintendo wants to do things. Because they were planning to for a bit. They ended up backing out because there's some questionable stuff in Mother 3, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I just have heard someone being hyped for Mother 3 and was like, wait, what? Because I thought there was legal red tape preventing its localization. There's no legal red tape. It's just that the game contains some questionable stuff in it that, with modern-day audiences, it might be a little divisive. Mainly because people on Twitter be twittering and so they'll freak out and throw tantrums over anything, even the most mild of jabs towards a very particular thing that I'm not going to say because I don't want to deal with Twitter people. But yeah, so the only thing that we pretty definitively know is going to be in the Direct is Persona 3 Reload for Switch, because Atlas is fucking completely unable to leak that game and has leaked every single aspect of it, and we pretty much know it's going to be on Switch now, which is good because I was kind of worried they'd pull some shit and be like, nah, fuck you guys, no Persona 3 on Switch, you know, fucking just because. Or we'll wait like 2 years to do. Oh, I fucked up. How did that count as behind him? That was weird. But yeah, so that's the only thing we definitively know will be in the Direct, pretty much. Well, that and Pikmin 4, I guess, they did show it, which I do look forward to seeing it, but part of me is just kind of like, well, I don't know if I really... Like, I'm gonna buy it anyways, you know? It's like, does it really matter that much what they show? I might almost just not watch that part, not because I don't like Pikmin, but just because, like, I don't want to spoil anything about it, because I fucking love Pikmin. Like, it's the only game series where I'm actively going out of my way to fucking 100% them because I just like them that much. So we know that'll be in it. And they'll probably show off that new 1-2 Switch game that I have heard some shit about. Because, so I can't say much, but, like, I know about a lot of rumors surrounding Nintendo most of the time because of how deeply entrenched I got into shit. I'm not going to say much more about it, but I know a whole lot about things that are coming up from them a lot of the time, and so, like, I'm able to predict shit pretty easily. I don't know when they're going to get announced usually, I just know they will. And it's like, yeah, I've known about that game for a bit. And the funny thing is, so it initially got leaked through some people, and then later we found out some stuff about it, and apparently playtesters found it horrendous. Like, genuinely, people were so bored with it that they were fucking, like, one of the mini games involves a horse, and they were calling the game horse shit, like, to the Nintendo people, so it is not gonna fucking be good. Like, it is gonna turn out really bad. I basically never watched a Nintendo Direct. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. I just want Tomodachi to let the Switch. I would like that too.
I feel it. Our tragedy unfolds once again.
Lady Maynard, does that mean...
Indeed, I do not doubt that Egil too is aware. However, why free the Monado? Zanza must realize it is now a double-edged sword. And what reason could he have for choosing the boy? What is this? I am experiencing feelings for the boy.
Lady Maynard.
Vinaya, your swift repairs are appreciated.
Thank you.
I wish to see that boy again. To meet with the one who wields the Monado.
The boy? But my lady, is that not...
Is Egil aware of my reawakening?
He is not. As my lady wished, he knows nothing.
Then, there is no need to worry. I shall meet the boy. Besides, the Monado will draw him to me.
Flying off without me, huh?
Fucking bitch.
I know you from somewhere. Of course, I remember you. You're Dunban's little sister.
Seems overtly aware of Dunban. That was something that was noticeable last time, is he is very aware of him for some reason. And yet he didn't seem to recognize Shulk nearly as much. He did know he killed his girlfriend, but he didn't seem to know Shulk, which kind of begs some questions. chose him because he's a blonde British boy. That's pretty much it.
I could go for a hot cup of Dixon's home brew right about now. We're not built for this cold.
Maybe if you wore a long sleeve shirt at
It
home.
is to be expected. This climate is as different to your home as it gets. It only snows this high up on the Bionis.
Ricky hate cold.
This can't be nice for Ricky. He's from Macna.
A little further down is Sword Valley, right?
Yes, but before then I must show you something.
Me?
You, Shulk. Do you not see? That tall formation that looks like a tower? Ruins, to
I
be
can
precise.
vaguely see it through the
Ricky
fog,
sees
yes.
bigger than Big Tree in Village.
We can rest there. I'll explain everything then.
We've got a lot of shit going on in the story, and like half of it's not completely understandable. We could buy some armor. I'm gonna wait a little bit on that first, so we'll pick up these quests. Alright, when it comes to sleeves, nah, I ain't feeling it. Yeah, that's pretty much what he'd probably say. But yeah, so Tomodachi Life actually would be down for on the Switch. I think that'd be really cool. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. I have some ideas of things that might occur in the Direct, but I literally don't know if any of these are definitively going to happen at all. And it sucks because now they're becoming really big rumors, but I've known about these for quite a fucking while. Well, not one of them. One of them I have no fucking idea where this came from, because I only heard about it like a couple of years ago and then never heard anything again. It's like, okay, well, it's probably not a real thing. But, you know, it wasn't... get out of here. Don't like... Oh, please do not... What? Oh, they must be fucking flying. That's why. I was wondering what the fuck. I couldn't see anything here except nebulas. But yeah, so, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say much about it, because it might spoil the Direct for people. But, like, also, I could literally just be fucking wrong. So, you know, because there's been times where I've heard shit and then it just turned out completely the opposite of what I thought. Or it was something that was close, but then it was, like, not completely on base. And in this area, Shulk sees Sonic snowboarding. That would be fucking cool, and it would be pretty fitting, too. You know? But I don't think we're in Ice Cap right now. But yeah, we're gonna be exploring for a bit. There's some shit to see in this area that I need to go do, especially because there's one really good EXP area that I want to go get. But yeah, so I'm gonna just do predictions. Some of these are things that might happen that I know about, some of them aren't, so you're not gonna know which ones are real and which ones are fake. And I'm gonna just fucking... I'll throw in a couple really stupid ones too, just so it's completely out of left field. So because I think it would be fun. So firstly, Metroid Prime Remastered is not the only Metroid Prime game coming to Switch. But the twist is that it's the only remastered one coming to Switch. Like, they'll have quote-unquote remasters of Prime 2 and 3, but they're gonna be this fucking the same exact games as they were on the GameCube, and that's it. Like, they're gonna make no fucking changes besides the ones that were, like, inherently gonna have to be in the game, like the dual stick controls. And that's it. Just because I can fucking see Nintendo doing that. And it's like, yeah, that is the most Nintendo move I can imagine them doing with fucking the other two Metroid Prime games. Which sucks because I really want to play Prime 2 and 3. I never have gotten to. I played a bit of Prime 2 and I really loved it, but I didn't finish it because the last time I tried to play it, I was not in a great state. But I'd like to give it a full run through. That would be nice. So, I'm gonna say that's gonna happen. They're gonna announce a 2D Mario game. And it's not New Super Mario Brothers. It's gonna be something different. It'll control not too dissimilarly, but it'll be very different in style, maybe even visually. And specifically, one of the major things that's gonna be cool about it, we're gonna have other characters besides fucking Mario, Luigi, and then the two Toads, Buckenberry and a la Gold, because, well, they might be in there, but I think we're gonna get other characters. In fact, I'm gonna call it, we're gonna get fucking Wario and Waluigi, baby. Also, maybe Daisy, because she was in Super Mario Maker, or Super Mario Run, sorry. Oh, it was a fucking quest item. I wouldn't doubt the Metroid prediction. Honestly, again, I'm not going to tell you which ones are real things and which ones aren't. And so it's like some of these, but it's like either way, that is such a fucking Nintendo move that it's like, I doubt most people would doubt it. It's like, yeah, no, that's something Nintendo would do. But yeah, so that's going to be the gimmick. It's not going to be New Super Mario Brothers, and that'll make me sad because I fucking love New Super Mario Brothers, but the game will probably be pretty cool, and that'll be their big holiday title. They don't got anything else coming for the holiday in terms of like a major title, but it'll sell well, but it's not going to sell as well as New Super Mario Brothers. That would be a prime Nintendo move, Jispy. Do I need to ground you again? Can you not go a single stream without getting grounded? Yeah, this area, the thing I don't like about it is we basically have to fucking grind it. Every time I played it, no matter how many quests I do, this one part I have to grind. So I'm sorry. After this, we won't have to grind again for a bit. It's just how it goes. You want fun? Fucking, yes. If it's not fun, why bother? I need the grounding to make coffee. I see. But yeah, so that's one of my predictions. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other fucking like, because I know there's some that I want to talk about that may or may not be things. But I'm gonna predict Fire Emblem is not gonna show up. Just because I cannot imagine we're gonna get another Fire Emblem game. But if we do, it'll be a Fire Emblem 4 remake or something. Oh! Oops. Oh. Oh, wow. This is good. We're dead. We're super dead. Terminal velocity. We got some EXP for dying like that. I missed your theory. Was it Coral? My theory was that, firstly, we're going to get Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on Switch. Maybe, I don't know if it'll be in this direct, but we're going to get them on Switch, but they're not going to be remastered like the first one. They're going to be just like up-resed, and it's going to be really disappointing. And I'm going to be really sad about it. And then the second prediction was we're going to get a 2D Mario game with multiple playable characters and a different style than New Super Mario Bros. It won't just have Mario, Luigi, and the two Toads a la Golden Buckenberry. Instead, it will get like Wario and Waluigi and fucking Daisy or whatever. You know, they'll have new playable characters that they haven't had in most of the mainline 2D Mario games, and they'll make everybody happy, but I'll be a little sad because I like New Super Mario Brothers. And so that's how it goes. And so those are my theories. Oh, and then obviously Fire Emblem I just mentioned. If we get a Fire Emblem game, it's Fire Emblem 4 Remake. I just feel it. We are going to get... Ooh, I got toppled. A remake of a Mario RPG in this direct. And I think it's going to be one of two different Mario RPGs. Let's see. His theory is that it was actually called an Aileron roll. I was not talking about that. Wasn't that all they did for the Prime Remaster? No, the Prime Remaster was like a whole fucking like new graphical thing. Like they actually remade most of the assets from scratch. It looks super good. So no, like the reason why I'm making an emphasis of this is because they did that. I know they won't do that for Prime 2 and 3. It'll just be like really shitty ports. You know, and it fucking sucks. But that's how it goes. But yeah, so I think we're going to get a remake of a Mario RPG, and it is either going to be Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door HD, remade in the Paper Mario The Origami King engine, or it's going to be a full remake of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars by Square Enix themselves, with a toy-like art style similar to Link's Awakening, the remake for Switch. And it's going to be one of these two, and just because of the fucking, just how things are, it's going to be Super Mario RPG, and it's going to make my whole fucking video have comments that are going to be like, wow, this aged poorly, didn't it? Even though I literally put a part in the video for this express purpose, because I fucking know it's going to happen, to say, hey, even if this does happen, heck, even if we get more, that doesn't change the fact that for the better part of 2 decades, Super Mario RPG has been completely and utterly irrelevant, which is almost an exact quote from my video. So the only pun that in the name Monte Momora is me thinking of the thing they always do in JoJo. I thought it was Oro. But to be fair, I didn't fucking like JoJo, so I didn't really care. That was my thing. So that's the next prediction. Mario RPG remake of some kind. It'll be one of those two. Not Mario and Luigi. That series is still not coming back, and honestly, I don't know if we're ever getting it back, because I guess just fuck that series in particular. So, you know, that's fun. It was a weird fucking rock. It made me think there's gonna be actually something significant. Anyways, so let's see. Give me a sec. I want to see how. Yeah, okay. This pathway over here. Mora, close enough. And yeah, I didn't like JoJo either. I found it very boring, honestly. Like, it was very tedious to watch, and I don't get the appeal. Like, part 1 was boring. Part 2 was okay. I liked parts of it, but there's definitely other parts where I was bored, and then part 3 I was just fucking snoring. To be honest, I kind of doubt any Mario RPG stuff. I'm calling it. We're getting something. Something Mario RPG related is coming, and it's not Mario plus Rabbids. Which, fun fact about my whole thing I said about the Mario RPGs always having a terrible fate, the new Mario plus Rabbids sold terribly by comparison, and so there's a question whether we're even getting another one. So this is what I was talking about with the big area that gets you a shit ton of EXP just for walking to it. So it was worth the death. X. Since I want this to look pretty, and because nighttime is like the only pretty time, I fucking love this game visually, man. Like, bro, fucking look at this shit. But yeah, so that's my next theory, is that, and let's see, I'm gonna do one more prediction. F-Zero is coming back in the form of an F-Zero GX HD remaster. That is all that they're going to get, and Nintendo is going to very heavily imply that if this does not do well, they will never fucking do another F-Zero game again. And that will be either the opener or closer of the Direct, is that they're bringing back F-Zero. It's Christmas. It is indeed. Look at the shiny lights. It's very pretty. But those are my major predictions for the Direct. Third-party wise, I think most of it'll pretty much be what you usually would expect from Directs, which is a bunch of fucking weird shit, and then a couple of really cool announcements. Ooh. And that'll kind of be it. And it's not a big deal. It doesn't really bother me much. But, I think it'll be a pretty decent Direct, and a lot of people will really fucking like it compared to previous Directs, because it's not going to have as many RPGs, and that's exactly why I'm going to be sad about it, because I would prefer more RPGs, but unfortunately, the Directs I like are always the ones everybody else is like, oh, this one sucked because they ended on Xenoblade, and I don't play Xenoblade. I only play Mario and Zelda, and Nintendo doesn't announce enough of those. They should just have only Mario and Zelda. They should have the Xenoblade team make Mario and Zelda, you know, because that would be a great fucking idea, because the people who do giant MMO-esque RPGs are definitely going to know how to make a 2D platformer. Oh, wow, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. What the fuck? Ooh. I don't think we're winning this. I think he fucked us. I'm gonna fucking just go ham. Just go ham. Just kill him. Come on, done, man. See, a Mario RPG remake like Link's Awakening almost sounds crazy enough for Nintendo to do. I think they'll do it purely because it'll fucking make my video completely useless. Come on. Done, man, kill him! Let's say, what are you doing? I'm gonna fucking die. But yeah, it's just like, it's the exact Nintendo move to do, to do that right after my video came out, just to make me look fucking dumb. But, man, F-Zero GX is one of those games I love but literally can't play because I always feel like I'm gonna pass out when I play it because of how fast it is. Yeah, fair. I think it's completely fair. I'm not into F-Zero at all. In fact, I'm going to be real, I think it's mad overrated. I've never understood the appeal of it, and I feel like it's a franchise, or it's a series that people don't realize sold fucking horribly. Like, people used to complain that Metroid wasn't popular enough, or that Fire Emblem wasn't, but like to put this into perspective, before Awakening, when Fire Emblem was about to die, basically, when Nintendo said, yeah, you got one more game to get it right or we're going to kill your series, Fire Emblem was still dramatically outselling F-Zero. The only F-Zero games that sold particularly well were like the first 2 games, and everyone after that would just sell worse and worse. And you know, I'm going to make another prediction, a follow-up. F-Zero will get its revival and everybody will be really thrilled, and then the game will sell like 1 million, maybe 1.5 million units in total. And a bunch of people are going to fall right off of it because they find out it's not actually as cool as they thought it was going to be. Mainly because it's incredibly difficult. Give me my gosh dang Sonic R Switch port. That's on Sega, unfortunately, and thus is never going to fucking happen because Sega only ever ports the Genesis games and the Game Gear games. None of the other Sonic games. Well, and Sonic Colors. That one's good too. To them, that one exists, but none of the others exist. So, you know, fuck you if you like any other Sonic games. You're not getting them on Switch. But, yeah, so that's my prediction about the Nintendo Direct for the most part. Also, I was going to say this. So, I don't know who's going to be awake. But if anybody would want to, I'm considering waking up tomorrow to watch this thing at whatever ass time in the morning it is. To watch the Nintendo Direct, and I could watch it live. And I was wondering if anybody would want to watch it with me at like 7 in the fucking morning. Because I like watching Directs live, and I'd rather not have to fucking wait until I get up and they get spoiled about shit inherently because you can't do that. But I need to know that at least one person's going to be there because I don't want to be streaming to nobody. It's just going to make me sad. See, if Sonic R was on Switch, I'd play it even more. Honestly, I'd be fucking down. I want the adventure games on Switch. Like, that's what I would really fucking like to see. Because the adventure games are just banging, and they honestly deserve to be on Switch, but I don't think we're going to get them. And when Sega ports or remasters games, they have a tendency to completely screw them. That is also true. Except for Sonic Adventure DX, am I right, fellas? That was the best one. I don't care. It was my childhood version. That one's good. But, yeah, so I don't know. I want to know if anybody would be up at the time. I think they have it on, like, YouTube. I could go look it up, but, like, it's only going to be in my fucking time zone, so I'm not going to be able to... Ah, thank you. Sonic R came to Switch with online multiplayer. You know what your boy would be spending his time on. The only problem with Sonic R with online multiplayer is that while I love the game, it is incredibly unbalanced, and it would mean they'd have to do something to kind of balance it. Because, like, anybody who picks Super Sonic would just win. There is no fucking, like, actual challenge to it. So they would have to do something. Let's pick him up. Just trying to kill this guy. Because, unfortunately, we get to be grindy, boys. I would have liked to do this off screen, but we had too many cutscenes, and I was not going to skip all of that just to go grind. But that's how it goes. Oh, whoa, yeah, the ice physics in Xenoblade are fucking wild. Man, fucking everything has break resistance. Maybe I need to go upgrade these in the arts thing. Maybe I'm behind on that. You guys can... Okay, Shaker Edge. Once they get on the ground, it's not a problem. That's my strategy, just to fucking screw them completely. I was just watching a video about the various Sonic ports and remasters, and like, it said the GameCube Sonic Adventure DX was fine, but then the Steam port was just botched. That's the thing. So the GameCube port definitely has more problems than the Dreamcast version, but it's not like horrendously worse. It's just got some new additional problems that it introduces. And the thing about the models, I really think people would not be as bothered by them if it stayed on the GameCube. Because the models look good through like a pixelated screen and stuff. It's when they're up-resed and super shiny and weird that the fucking models start looking way worse. Like, I don't like the Sonic Adventure models on PC. I like them on GameCube, though. I think they look nice. And so I honestly think it sucks that, like, you can't like those models now because the PC version fucking ruined it. But yeah, so... Yeah, and while I'm waiting for anybody to potentially answer me or just leave me on red here about that Nintendo Direct thing, so let's talk about some of the story stuff that's been happening. So obviously, a lot of these major events are fucking cool as shit. And I'm super... Like, on the first playthrough especially, this is where I started to be like, okay, wait a minute, what is going on? Because a lot of this shit, I was kind of able to predict up to this point. But there's some stuff going on with Lady Mainith and, like, some other stuff that's like, okay, well, what the fuck does that mean? What are these? And this is the point in the game where I think it goes from just really cool because I like the cast, the characters, to really cool because the plot itself is really interesting. And so, there is one asterisk I have to this that I wanted to discuss because I didn't want to say anything, but Smash literally fucking spoils this if you play Ultimate. In Shulk's final Smash, you could tell Fiora was still alive, unfortunately, and it really sucks. And I was hoping nobody would point it out in the chat, but funnily enough, because fucking Jispy has played Xenogears, he actually knows several things about the plot. It's not fucking word for word the same plot, but they definitely share some shit. Because Xenoblade 1 was an attempt to basically redo Xenogears so he could start his 6 perfect works thing that he has wanted to do for years, which he finished finally with the new Xenoblade 3 DLC. They're still shiny on GameCube. They are, but here's the thing. The shininess isn't as overt or over-present or overbearing in the GameCube version. Through pixels, and especially on a CRT screen, it just looks like they're mildly shiny. They don't even look as, like, shiny as the Heroes models. So, if I have trouble sleeping or wake up too early again, I might go ahead and watch the Direct with you. Wait, are you saying some of my random guesses were right? I mean, yeah, you literally said about, like, the dead girlfriend coming back to life thing. Like, you said some stuff about Xenogears that applies directly to Xenoblade. Because the games are similar in some ways. They're not all the same, but they share stuff. I might be able to see the Direct. It depends on what time it is or if my friends want to watch it with me. I mean, if I'm awake, I'll join. I usually am asleep until like 11 a.m. So here, I'm going to go look up what time this is exactly right here on stream, and I'll tell you in a time zone, and then you can just look up what time is it blank and compare it to your time. Because, oh, did Nintendo not upload the fucking thing? They usually have like a little live streamy boy. Is it at 7 a.m.? It might be. Here, I'll go to Nintendo's Twitter, too, to see. Okay, just to make sure that I'm not doing this at the wrong time, and then I'll tell you what time it is in Pacific time, because that's the easiest one I can compare it to. Oh, it's 7 a.m. Pacific time. So, for me, if I type in, go to Google, like, what time is it Pacific time, or PT, it tells me it's 3:43 p.m. Oh, okay, so I don't even have to convert. For me, it will just be 7 a.m. So look up what time it is PT right now and compare it to that. It'll be 7 a.m. PT. So very early in the morning still, but, like, I have no idea how early it is for you guys. But yeah, so Fiora, being alive was something I was kind of guessing at from the beginning when I first played it, because it's like, okay, we didn't see her body, that's kind of weird, and, like, that's the telltale sign in an RPG that they're probably still alive. And the second they were like, oh, the fucking Monado can't hurt humans, and mysteriously it can't hurt these metal-faced Mechon, it was like, okay, there's a human in there. Oh, well, dead. No, never mind, we're not dead. And I was like, the twist is going to be that Fiora is in one of these at some point, and that's going to be the twist. And I'm of two minds about this, because the way they do this is very interesting for right now. This kind of, hey, wow, it's clearly not Fiora, it's her body, but it's not Fiora herself. That is really fascinating to me, and it kind of puts the characters through some really interesting shit. On the other hand, I feel like it devalues her death at the beginning, because it means, like, the whole journey up to this point was revenge for her death. Now, obviously, it's not just for her. We want to fucking kill the Mechon because they kill fucking everybody. But this kind of puts some weirder shit on the adventure, because now Shulk's main reason for wanting to kill all of them, which is that they fucking killed his girlfriend, is kind of not there as presently anymore. I'm not saying that it is not justified, but I am saying it lowers the impact a little bit. And we'll see more about this Fiora situation as it goes, so I'm not going to say much about it. But yeah, I feel very mixed about it. That doesn't mean I don't like the story suddenly, because if there's one element I don't like, it's fine. Because I still like the characters, I like the overarching plot, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. But this is kind of the problem with this entry, is that it's a little more predictable. And I actually have this problem with Xenoblade 3 as well, where, like, I was able to predict almost every major plot twist in that game, besides a couple of very specific things. But a lot of that's because I knew the Xenoblade lore really well, and Xenoblade 3 is such a very particularly crafted game that it would be hard to not know. And so that was kind of my thing with it. That's how I feel about it, and everybody else has different perspectives on this, because the Fiora thing is definitely the most divisive part of this game's story. But I just figured I'd comment on it, because, you know. Let's see. And honestly, I don't tend to take Smash spoilers seriously, because Smash is, well, Smash. Even if you do see Fiora in Smash, you're seeing her without context. Well, that's true, but you literally see her in the Mechon body. Like, you see her in that. And it's like, wow. I wonder if she's going to be fine later in the game. And the worst part is that wasn't that like that in Smash 4. When Shulk was added, it was just Dunban and Ricky. I don't know why the fuck they added Fiora, unless, like, that was just Sakurai's favorite character, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna put him in the fucking, put her in the final Smash. Fuck you, I don't care. You know? And I always wondered about it, because, like, I grew up with Melee before I ever played a, fucking Zelda game. And I've always wondered, just like, was Sheik being Zelda, was that, like, a big, major plot twist to people that just didn't have any impact on me at all, because I already knew about it from Smash? And I've always wondered about that, because, like, man, that might have been a really cool twist if that was the case, because, you know, but fucking, I had no idea if it really would be, because I already knew the second I started Ocarina of Time, since I didn't play it for the first time until the 3DS remaster, which I fucking loved, by the way. It's the best version of Ocarina of Time. I don't care if... Oh, fuck, I missed that. I don't care if some people want to be little babies because the graphics have changed slightly and because nostalgia just makes it so they can't accept any later version. Majora's Mask 3D is also better. I don't care. That stupid video with the fucking moon face is just a bunch of nitpicks. I don't understand how it became such a popular critique of the 3DS version when it's really bad. But, yeah, I don't know. Give me a sec. I got fucking hair in my mouth. How? The fuck? I'm gonna take a drink too for a second because I am thirsty. If I'm doing the math right, that's like 9 a.m. Central Time. It might be. I have no idea. I don't know time zones. I exist in a state that has no time. Like, we don't have the daylight savings time or anything. We just have the same time all year. It's really great. I love it. The shininess of SADX is probably less apparent when the game's not HD. Well, that is basically what I'm saying. Like, when you're playing the pixelated GameCube version on a CRT, you don't really notice the shiny stuff as much. It's not as bad. Yeah, I do recall Sheik being Zelda was a major twist at the time. And see, that's the thing, I never got to experience that because I already knew about it going in. And that fucking sucks. Like, I hate it when something really cool gets spoiled for me for something that's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You can't avoid a whole ass character in Smash. You know, but it is what it is, I guess. I do not like fighting these fucking enemies. They move too much and it's hard to tell when you're behind or on the side of them because their model's too big. Well, the 3DS version of Majora's Mask did change a few bosses, if I remember right. And no change in time. How do you live? How do you live with that? It just, there's no daylight savings time. There's no point. The sun in Arizona fucking is up for most of the day regardless year-round because we're closer to the equator than most states. So there's no point to have daylight savings time. So it just stays the same time year-round. You know, it is always going to be 7 a.m. at the same exact part of the, the day or whatever. It doesn't ever change, which is way easier than having that one day where it's like, yeah, you're losing an hour of sleep or whatever just to go into fucking work. So I've always preferred that. And Majora's Mask, here's the thing. So they changed a couple bosses, but like most of them are not even bad changes. Like the Odalwa and Got boss fights either don't change much of anything or they make the boss fucking better, I'd argue. Because in the original game, Odalwa you can just fucking spam kill in like 3 seconds. There's no point. And I don't understand. The only one I agree with is the Twin Wolf fight. I think they really fucked that one up in the 3DS version. But like, okay, wow, one boss fight, that's sure gonna make a huge difference on my total playthrough. Anyway, so let me play my game in 30 FPS with gyro controls for the aiming instead of at 20 FPS the whole fucking game. And having it frequently dip below that, and having the controls generally just be worse except for like spinning as a Deku over water and then the fucking Zora controls and nothing else. Everything else is way better in the 3DS version. You know, like, there are subtle things that are worse about it, but they're always really tiny nitpicks. They're things that affect maybe a couple minutes of the game in total, compared to the just massive overarching changes that the 3DS version brings that makes it so much better. I cannot fathom how... So, the thing is people who grew up with the N64 version, who watch that video, almost always prefer the N64 version. People who don't always prefer the 3DS version, and people who play both nowadays always prefer the 3DS version across the board. New players don't like the N64 version because a lot of the tedious shit, like, oh, hey, wow, did you know you can only skip time in like 12-hour increments? And so for like the Kafe and Anju quests, you just get to fucking sit around for like way too long. You spend basically 30 minutes standing in place for that quest to go by. Whereas in the 3DS version, you can just skip to any individual hour of the day, making the quest go by way quicker and easier and less tediously, which is great. And it's like, I could go through this for a while, but it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take a criticism like, you can save the game easier as an actual criticism, because the only critique there is that technically, the original is slightly harder because you cannot save as easily. But then it's like, you do realize the 3DS version was made for, I don't know, a 3DS, which maybe you can't fucking do that kind of shit with. And so it's like, yeah, no, I wonder why they did that. But also, what's wrong with that? If you want to play it like the original, just don't fucking save every 3 seconds. There you go. You got the original version, and anybody who needs to save can save when they need to. Wow, what a fucking concept. Like, that video is just so bad at a fundamental level, and I don't understand why it became such a, like, a big thing when it's like, dude, it is fucking, it's not a good critique. I don't care. So you haven't played Majora's Mask, but the swimming sounds worse on 3DS. It is worse, I guess, but you only end up swimming for a grand total of maybe like 10 minutes of the entire game, unless you're just dicking around in the water for no reason. Which the only reason you'd be doing that is if you're like a kid playing Majora's Mask or something. Otherwise, there's no fucking way. Like, you're not gonna do that. So, I don't know. It just seems like the guy had a bone to pick with the remake, and everybody just had not played the remake and decided, well, you know, yeah, he's probably right. You know, I haven't played it, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, I've played both versions extensively. I can tell you quite definitively, the 3DS version is better. To be honest, if I ever play Majora's Mask, I'd want to play it on the 64, but I kind of liked it in 64. I'm going to heavily say we're going to die either way. Let's see. Okay, well, the risk was not... It was a calculated risk, but boy, I'm bad at math in this case. Oh, let's see. Ooh, oh, this might save our life. I know we're not doing a lot of damage to it, but like, this is literally just all I can do. I think I fucked up. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, Shulk, don't do anything to make him angry, please. Do the attack, please. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. No. Oh, we did. Okay, we're good. So wait, people hate the 3DS version. I've heard nothing but praise for them. People like Ocarina of Time 3D for the most part. It's there's a couple people that'll tell you it's worse objectively because one boss fight at the end of the game is slightly less atmospheric because the lighting is better, you know, because it's a fucking handheld. But no, Majora's Mask is super hated now on 3DS because of one video. This guy named Norel released this Majora's Mask video where he basically tried to explain why the 3DS version was a bad version of the game. And again, as I said, most of his critiques were nitpicks and small things, but because most people had not played the 3DS version, they had no fucking idea that these were nitpicks. They just kind of assumed he was correct because he sounded like he knew what he was talking about. And that's what sucked. Oh man, instead of carrying the 2, you put the square piece in the round hole. That said, I never owned a 3DS, and if I were gonna get what, it wouldn't be for maybe better versions of games. I just didn't like that much. I used to like Ocarina, but as I got older, I saw its flaws. I don't know how you couldn't like the 3D Zelda games. Like, honestly, I vastly prefer them to like any of the other ones. But yeah, so I don't know. It just kind of made me mad to see what happened in that version, and I don't think it deserved the reputation it ended up getting. Oh boy, get ready for fucking some real corny ass shit. Fucking the stupid ice physics in this game are so great. Fucking, oh shoot, this could kill us, by the way. Sorry. I love this fucking game. I'm still baffled that you didn't like OOT because they made it clear what was bombable. That part is kind of baffling because, like, honestly, I hated the fact that it wasn't obvious that you could bomb shit. Because then I'm just wasting bombs on everything. Because I want to see everything if I can, but that's hard to do in a game that's like that. It's just like, bro, fucking, I think the puzzles are way more interesting. In older Zelda, like Zelda 1, if you oh, I fucking might have done it again. If you analyze the puzzles, if you look at the actual puzzle solving for like Zelda 1, 90% of puzzles are kill all the enemies in the room, push a block. Sometimes there is a reason to, sometimes there isn't. Bomb a wall that has no clear indication that it is any different than any of the other walls in the dungeon. Like, that's not a puzzle. That's not really something I have to solve. You know, oh my gosh, Shulk died pretty much. Oh wait, the 3DS version doesn't have a gold cartridge. What the flake? I am not shocked about that considering they made all 3DS cartridges white, and so it'd be kind of weird. Did Shulk go bleh? I might have gone bleh. But Shulk also might have gone bleh. For me, it's not even a 2D versus 3D thing. There's just things like Zelda as a whole, or things with Zelda as a whole that, unlike Shizo, rub me the wrong way. I don't know, I fucking love Zelda. Like, it's one of those series I really like. Although, you might really like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom if you played them. Because those games are not designed in a way, like, there are obvious puzzles, but sometimes it's just like, you can just solve shit in the fucking dumbest ways you can imagine. Like, every single shrine I've done, it's like, oh, I know what the developers want me to do here, but I'm gonna try this instead and see if it works, and it fucking somehow does half the time. Oh, they want me to move this cart through the water? Well, I'm gonna put the cart on top of this thing and roll it on the side of the wall through some fucking physics nonsense, and see if that gets it across, and then it fucking does, and it's like, what? Why did they let me do that? Oh, this thing wants me to hit this fucking switch with this ball with really fucking difficult to get physics. Well, you know, I just have to hit the switch, so is anything stopping me from bomb arrowing it and hitting it right? Oh, no, okay, it worked, cool. Fucking just whatever solution I can come up with. I did that with Breath of the Wild too, where it's like, oh, here's this electricity puzzle. But I have a lot of iron weapons that'll just conduct electricity, so I'm just gonna use those instead and fucking see if I can solve the puzzle that way. It always fucking worked. I did indeed like Breath of the Wild. Well, you might really like Tears of the Kingdom. You can do so much dumb shit in that. The only problem is, like, for right now, I'm still trying to figure out how to get more battery so I can make more stupid inventions. And also, I just really fucking... I keep making shit and then doing dumb stuff with it and then losing it. And it's like... one of the first things I did is I made, like, a car. I couldn't actually steer it, but I made, like, a little car thing that had, like, a a shielding barrier and everything, and then I found the depths for the first time, and I'm like, oh wow, cool, it's a giant hole in the ground. I'm gonna drive my car into it. And then it fucking did, and the thing ended up launching me out, and I died. So I died and I lost my car, and I was like, oh man. I just wanted to drive my car down there, man. You know, I wanted to drive it down in the depths and be a fucking idiot. See, from what I played of the OG Zelda on NES, it was way too cryptic, but also it's an NES game. Yeah, pretty much they're always designed like that. I'm not a fan of Zelda 1. I gave it a chance. I really, like, I tried to enjoy it, but I just don't think the game's that fun. I just can't enjoy it. You know, so that's kind of how it goes. I've heard that the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom approach is how Zelda will be going forward. Wonder what that means for traditional Zelda. That is definitely a question. There's a lot of people wondering if we're going to get a regular Zelda again, or if they're just kind of going to keep doing the Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild approach forever. I don't know. What I thought they should have done, they had Grezzo remake the fucking N64 Zelda games, and then they also did the Link's Awakening remake. I think they should have just had them do an original Zelda game. Like, honestly, I think they could have done a good job with it. And I would have liked to see them do like an N64 styled Zelda game, but in the modern day. But I don't know if they're even doing that, because the last thing I saw that they were working on was some like fucking shovelware shit. So it's not even a Nintendo thing. Like, they're just making some garbage. So that fucking sucks. Oh, chicken. Let's see, but yeah, so I don't know. It's definitely kind of an interesting question. We're in a weird time with that, but it is what it is. I don't mind because I like both approaches, but I definitely would like to see more regular Zeldas too. But also, I have not literally played every Zelda game either. I have not played the Oracle games, for example, so like, I need to still play those. I never beat Skyward Sword. I really fucking tried, but for some reason that game just moves very slow to me, and I have trouble enjoying it because of that. But, you know, it's like, I don't really mind if this is the direction going forward. Oh, wait, Zelda 1 was a gold cartridge, too. How about that? It was. And? As fun as Breath of the Wild and possibly Tears of the Kingdom haven't played it, is the gameplay approach really sustainable long-term for Zelda? I mean, like, I thought they couldn't do a sequel that would be as good as Breath of the Wild, and boy, I was sure fucking wrong about that. Because Tears of the Kingdom is fucking nuts, and it honestly feels like such a different game. I hope this doesn't kill us. Okay, we barely managed to make it in. I was real worried about that. Also, Random Geek, didn't I debunk the whole you hate that they make bombable walls obvious thing in my vlog, or is that a subject I need to touch in part 2? I don't think everybody watched the blog, because it's a long fucking thing to watch. When did you do that? You mean fall from the fucking sky? I went in a little water thing that shot me up super high. I guess you guys just weren't paying attention, you know? But yeah, it shot me super high in the air, so now I'm fucking... I got like one of these, but I didn't fucking have the other shit that he wanted. But yeah, so that's just how this area is designed. It's kind of weird. It's not bad, it's just different in its design. Here, I'll fight this guy. See, I'm sure open world Zelda is just a phase. It's like the N64 style was a phase. Eventually Nintendo will flip-flop back. That's probably true, but also like, it was a phase that definitely lasted for quite a long fucking time, and we got a lot of Zelda games in that structure. But also, I like that type of Zelda game, so I don't fucking mind. Wow. But, I don't know. Again, I'm not Nintendo. I'm not in charge of where Zelda goes. So, like, I don't know. If I was in charge of shit, I wouldn't even be... Like, Zelda, I just let them do whatever the fuck they're still doing. Because it's clearly working. But instead, I'd be focused on, like, okay, we're remaking Thousand Year Door, pronto, post-haste, fucking... And we're making Paper Mario like that from now on. Earthbound's getting a full remake from the ground up. And then we're going to make it Earthbound 4 or 3 or fucking... I guess because Mother 3 would technically be Earthbound 2. You know, so it's like, we're fucking making another full Earthbound game. And that's how it's gonna go. Those are the two major things. And I mean, is it something that can go long term? I don't see it lasting for like 1 or 2 more games. I mean, how do you build upon what Tears of the Kingdom has done. They just make a whole different kind of game out of it. They don't have to use the same map. They could do something different. And clearly, again, they came up with an idea that fucking nobody would have thought of, so it's like, I don't doubt that they'll come up with something else really cool. I'm sorry, I really don't think we'll see anything Thousand Year Door related. I can dream, okay? I can dream. But yeah, so I don't know. That's just the thing with Nintendo. You never fucking know what they're up to. I'm going back in the ice cave, baby. I want to see if I can get to that top rung or not. Which I gotta be kind of slow about this, because the physics are gonna carry me, and I don't want to fucking bounce again. But I do need to start running once it straightens out again. So we're just gonna chill here. Okay. Yeah. Oh fuck! I didn't realize this was a strong. Oh, we're dead. We're fucked. I'm gonna let it just kill us. I want to see how far we get in this. Yeah, this is really not going well, is it? Honestly, dude, I'm fine with Mother Series ending with Mother 3. A thing like Earthbound should not be milked. With something like Zelda or Mario, milking is harmless, but with Earthbound, I think they could make one more, though. In fact, it's like, I actually thought what they should have done, real talk, is they should have fucking gotten Toby Fox on to just make another Earthbound game. I think that would have worked out really well. Are you being cool, wild, and groovy? Well, I am indeed, although the music sure isn't fucking, that. Ah. I mean, honestly, we made it further than I thought we were going to, considering he's 2 levels higher than us, but he killed me, so it's fucking, we pretty much lost this. It's okay. It's okay, done, man. I'm gonna run. I tried. I'm gonna run once we get down here. Get in the water, Stoke! Can't get me now. Wasn't Mother 3 like a definitive end? And also, can they make another Mother game without Itoy? I don't see why they couldn't make another Mother game without Itoy. I don't know why people are so stuck on that. It's like, oh, can they make another Smash game without Sakurai? Yes. Can they make another Zelda game without Onuma? Yes. In fact, people were saying, can they make another Zelda game without Shigeru Miyamoto? And they sure did that. Like, you don't need Itoy to make another Earthbound game from like a logistical standpoint. You just need somebody who's creative, you know? And honestly, having a different person make it would be the more interesting route to go. We've seen what Itoy wants to say out of it. So we don't really need to see much more out of that, but we could get other cool shit, you know? There might be another developer at Nintendo that could make something just as interesting, but in a different style. You know, at least that's how I feel about it. But I know that I'm not in the majority at this point, because a lot of people just fucking don't want there to be another Earthbound game. Bring on an Earthbound fan to make an official sequel. I don't know. It sounds iffy to me. Man, it's almost like an Earthbound fan made one of the biggest, most popular, most well-loved games in the last, like, decade. No. Everything you're saying now is wrong, Sono, regarding this whole can you do it without Itoy thing. No, fuck that. That's like saying you can make more Middle-earth without Tolkien. Why can't you, though? Realistically, from a legal perspective, it's like they just need the company, but why could there not be somebody else who has something to say that could say something in that same series? What exactly is stopping someone from being able to make something just as resonant from Earthbound? I don't really understand this idea that it's just Itoy alone that has the capability. He was not the only person who worked on Earthbound. There were a lot of people working in the development team. And there were likely tons of others that added a lot of cool things that Itoy didn't even think about prior to it. Yes, he is the brains behind Earthbound, but he's not the only person who did stuff for it. You know, I just don't understand why it's such a big deal in this particular case, because it doesn't really make much of a difference. You know? In fact, Itoi could probably teach somebody to make an Earthbound game, pretty much. I don't really think it's a fucking impossible effort. Yes, Toby Fox made a popular game. That was his own thing. Yes, but incredibly heavily inspired by Earthbound to the point where the first thing people said about it before it became popular was, wow, this is kind of like Earthbound. And that's the thing. You can make something resonant. It doesn't need to be Itoi doing it. I don't understand why it's such a big deal that it has to be Itoi. You could get a number of different people that could be just as inspired and could do something. Maybe not the exact same, but it doesn't need to be the exact same. If somebody can make something good out of it, then I don't really mind. You know?
Everyone, let's go!
That does not mean he could just take over someone else's story. The thing is, the story that Itoi did is done. He's not taking over anything. He would just be making something new out of something old. Oh, we're gonna be able to hit him. I'm trying, but I think I just wasted the auto. And the difference is Earthbound, Middle-earth, Metal Gear were heavily personal and heavily informed by the unique minds of the people helming them. Zelda is just, here's an elf having an adventure. But that's the thing, though. Zelda is heavily informed by the minds behind them. We would not have gotten something like Majora's Mask had Onuma not made it the way he did. Shigeru Miyamoto sure was not going to make a Zelda game like that. Link's Awakening turned out the way it did because it was made by a separate development team too, who didn't have nearly as much input from Miyamoto. He was the brains behind Zelda, and he had something to say with it. Now, it was something to say on a gameplay level more than it was a story level. But the thing is, gameplay is just as much an expression of something as a story can be. Miyamoto wanted to make something that felt like an adventure, like his childhood exploration of caves and stuff like that. That is the feeling he was trying to convey with his early Zelda games that gradually got more interesting. Whereas when Aonuma took over, under extreme pressure, he made a game that resonated with tons of people. A game that was about, you know, a lot of different themes. Themes of death, the oncoming apocalypse, how people deal with grief, you know, how people deal with their oncoming death staring them in the face. You get all these really interesting explorations of stuff that if Miyamoto was the only one in charge, we would have never seen. Likewise, I don't think it's too unrealistic to think that somebody could take Earthbound and explore something with it that is different. There are tons of things that Earthbound doesn't ever really approach. It's an emotional game at its core, but it's emotional in a different kind of way, and I think there's a lot of stuff that could be done with a game like that. And I don't know why attaching the Earthbound thing to it would be that big of an issue. Also, I really don't see why remaking Earthbound would have any problem, because that's literally not affected by anything. But that's my argument with it, is like, I feel like Earthbound is only in this special place because people have built it up like that. It is very personal to a lot of people, including me. I really love Earthbound as a series, and Earthbound specifically resonated with me a lot. But I don't think that it really should mean much. You don't need to withhold everything purely because it's been built up over years as this big, important thing. If we did that for everything, we could never get sequels that could be just as good. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So, I don't know. I just fundamentally do not agree with the idea that only he is capable of making a game like that. It might not be the same, but I think somebody could take that series and really run with it in a way that nobody would have ever thought of that could be just as exciting to a modern day audience. You know, that could hit just as hard, even harder.
Ruins. I wonder who built them.
Elvis? This the place you meant?
It appears to have frozen over while I have been away.
Been away?
Pay me no mind. We will need to do something about the ice before we can enter.
Throw hot water on ice.
Yeah, nice one, genius.
Precisely. There should be a geyser nearby. In the cave next to it, we will find a stone called magma rock.
And we can use this rock to melt the ice.
I believe so. So, shall we head to the cave?
Sounds good. Start looking for a geyser, everyone.
It's not unrealistic someone could take Earthbound and explore something with it. Here's the problem, they wouldn't. If Nintendo was like, coming next year, Earthbound 20, it would be like the lesser kind of Earthbound-inspired RPG Maker games. The kind that are quirky for the sake of being quirky without having any real meaning behind them. It would be just like, here's Mr. Saturn because they were in a meme decades ago. Sort of like how Sonic nowadays just leans on the Genesis era. See, dude, this is where your youth and comparative naivety are showing. Okay, well, firstly, I think that last comment's kind of dickish. I'm gonna be real. That seems kind of like the wrong way to tackle this argument, to be like, you're young, so you're dumb, because I don't think that's what this is coming from. I'm seeing it in a different way, and I think it's a little weird that you kind of went immediately to that, because that's not an argument. That's just saying, you know what, you don't know what you're talking about, you're a kid. But, like, why can't I know as much about this as you do with this? But also, here's the thing. Do you really think that if we were getting an Earthbound sequel, while Itoi is still alive, that Itoi himself would not go out of his way to pick someone that would have something to say? Nintendo's not going to make another Earthbound if there's not a reason to. They haven't in all these years. The series is has been set dormant for a long-ass time, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nintendo does not feel like they have found somebody, and Itoi does not feel like he's found somebody that could actually do it. The thing is, though, chances are, if we ever got an Earthbound sequel, Itoi would be involved in a sense. He might not be the main guy, but he probably would be keeping tabs on it, and he would want to find somebody that could do a good job on it. I don't think that just because Nintendo would make a sequel that it would suddenly become this big franchise that Nintendo is going to do everything with, because that doesn't really work that way. If that was the case, whenever we got a Xenoblade game, they would just feel like we got the next Xenoblade game and there was nothing to say with it. Every single one of these games has had a completely distinct story tackling completely different themes that the developer wanted to tackle. Yes, it's a franchise, but the developer had a story he wanted to tell with each of them and has done each of them justice. And I don't think that we couldn't see the same thing with an Earthbound sequel. Let's see, they want to find an old man. The geezer, I get it. So the should just say start looking for a geezer. Yeah, it sounded kind of like that, but I know he's talking for a geyser. That last remark is kind of rude, just be. See, okay, even he agrees with me. I didn't call you dumb. Naivety does not mean dumb, it means innocent and overly optimistic. The thing is, though, I guess, if you call somebody naive in an argument, the automatic assumption is you're naive, you're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about, because that is what it usually means. If I say, you know, you're kind of naive about this, like, I'm dismissing the argument inherently because of that. And I just fundamentally don't agree with the idea that just because I'm younger doesn't mean I couldn't have a good perspective on it. You know, I have played Earthbound, I've had it hit me just the same as it did everybody else. I may have played it later, but that didn't change the impact it had on me. It's literally my second favorite game of all time. You know, so I feel like I can talk about this. I'm not trying to franchise this. I just want more impactful games. Now, maybe it wouldn't take the form of Earthbound, but I do think we could get something else out of the series that could be impactful. Will we? Probably not. I doubt it, because Nintendo doesn't really care about it much. And there is a question on whether making 1 or 2 sequels in total, and that being it, would really be worth their time when they can't make a franchise out of it. But it's possible they do that anyways, just because if they can make money out of it and somebody has something to say, they might just decide to go with it. It might be a really big get for a console. You're making a baseless assumption based around the idea of him not knowing much due to his age. Yeah, that's kind of how it felt to me. And see, the thing is, I've seen a couple people make this exact argument. I saw people make the same arguments for Middle-earth spin-offs, and what happened? It got morphed into a generic fantasy setting that lost everything that made it unique, elements that only happened because Tolkien was very deep in mind. Here's the thing, though, that's because it was approached in a bad way. It's not the new project's fault necessarily that it turned out bad. It's the people working on it who were not able to make something good out of it. There is nothing necessarily wrong with a new Tolkien work, or whatever, Tolkien world work, I should say. If somebody could do something good with it, the problem is they didn't. That doesn't mean that any work that could be a sequel to something that's resonant should just not exist because it might be bad. By that logic, there's a lot of things that we should have just never gotten, or things that should have never happened. You know, I don't agree with it. I think it needs to be tackled in a careful way, but I don't think it is impossible to have it work out. You know, now I guess the question is, how many times has it worked out successfully? I'm not sure. Not many things get revived that often that are like that. Here, chase me through the cave. Mainly because cult classic works don't really get that opportunity, and so things like the new Middle-earth stuff are some of the only things that exist. You can't say it for something like Star Wars, because Star Wars got fucking bad not long after it was made. You know, because it was a really big popular work, but I'd argue that's kind of the problem that Tolkien has too. It wasn't a cult classic, it was just a classic outright. People fucking loved that whole series, basically. The books were popular, the movies were popular. Heck, even the Hobbit movies, you know, while they were definitely more divisive, were pretty well liked by a lot of people. Not everyone loved them, but it's like, there was something good to come out of that. And so I think it's not even really comparable unless Nintendo were to literally do the most cynical thing they could, which is, as you said, make Earthbound 20 Mr. Saturn Strikes Back or some dumb shit. I just don't see that happening with a work like Earthbound. I fucking missed. Yeah, I gotta fucking encourage them because they're very sad. Because we're fighting a thing with fucking spike damage. Oh man, this fucking sucks. I hate these stupid enemies. It's gonna explode too, I fucking know it, and then I'm not gonna get the EXP for it, and I'm gonna be fucking mad. So I don't know. That's my argument with it. I know you don't agree, and I know I'm not going to be able to convince you, but that is genuinely just how I feel about it. I think there's more to it than just saying outright it's fucked because it could be a sequel. Let's kill it. I want that EXP. I think it comes down to the idea that someone new taking the helm over a property that has some emotional background to it from its original creator, and the idea of them ruining it for future generations of gamers who will likely approach it from the newest entry that utterly destroyed it. And I understand that fear. I just think that it's not impossible to do. I'm more talking in theoretical stuff because this will literally never happen. Nintendo is not going to do another Earthbound thing. Besides, the only thing I could ever see them doing is Mother 3. Remake, you know, port, just fucking direct translation. I could see them doing something with that, but I do not see Nintendo doing much more than a remake, because I don't think it's really worth it to them to do anything else. You know, I don't think they're gonna get enough out of it, but I think it is possible for it to work. See, that's the thing. I do see that happening. Nintendo is a cynical company. That's exactly the kind of shit they would do. Literally, that's the only reason they would make Mother 4 instead of letting it be a fan game, which was Itoi's own wish on the matter. Well, I guess that might be true. I know that's what he said, because he's real hesitant about the idea of making a Mother 4, which I get. I understand why he would be a little less than thrilled. But the thing is, I just don't think that would happen if they were reviving Earthbound. I think Nintendo themselves knows that it's something kind of special. This isn't like your typical Mario's, you know, fucking Kirby, whatever, where they can kind of just remake it and it doesn't matter. It's like, no, they would definitely have to approach it a little more tactfully if they were going to do something with it, and I think they know that. You know, I know people like to say that they're a tactless company that don't really give a shit, but I don't think that's 100% true most of the time. I think they don't get enough credit for a lot of this kind of shit. But the thing is it's easy to see it that way just because, yeah, big company automatically will do bad, you know? I just don't, I think they have a little more respect for their works than that. It's why when they remake something, you don't usually see this, like, Final Fantasy VII remake kind of bullshit, where it's like, hey, wow, this isn't even really a remake, this is like a semi-sequel with a ton of shit changed just because. When they remake a game, even if, like, parts are memes or, like, the games become a meme, they remake it in the most, like, correct to the original way they usually can. Link's Awakening's remake was shit on by some people because it was literally just Link's Awakening. They did not change much of anything, and for some people, that was a real fucking problem. Now, I didn't mind it. I thought it was fun, but they tend to try to preserve what people liked about whatever it was that they liked. You know, they don't always do it. With Mario stuff, it's definitely funky, and that's what sucks about being a Mario fan, is that franchise is approached the cynical, well, we'll just do whatever the fuck kind of way. But even then, I guess you could argue, like, if Nintendo was as cynical as everybody says they were, why the fuck is Paper Mario still like it is, whatever the developer wants it to be, basically, instead of, you know, what people actually have been asking for? The reality is they've given a lot of developers way more leeway than I think most companies would. And while I'm not happy about that for Paper Mario, because I think it's ruined the fucking franchise, they've let him keep doing the stuff he wants to do out of it instead of doing the stuff that everybody else wants him to do, because fucking why not, I guess. Fuck us. But I just think it's... You're getting a little too cynical about what they would do with the potential Earthbound sequel in this case, to kind of see how, no, it could be done well. It would just need to be done tactfully. It's like starting a new player on the reboot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare and not the original, which is objectively better with skill-based gameplay and less based on zooming around like Sonic and Sonic Colors. I guess Call of Duty could work. I also think you could argue Sonic is a good argument for the problem, but that's because Sonic just fucking, they could not stick to anything ever. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know what the fuck else you do about that. Like, that's just on Sega for being dumb. You know, they did cater to Genesis nostalgia, but that's because I don't think they even understood what people liked about the Genesis games, if I'm being honest. Because all the stuff they did was just, like, really tasteless pandering. Oh, look, guys, that's Green Hill Zone and Chemical Plant Zone. You guys like those, because they're from your good favorite Sonics, right? Wowee. Oh, Sonic Forces, we're gonna make it cater to everyone. So adventure fans like chaos, and they like a story that's serious. So we'll, like, kind of vaguely do that. Maybe. So, I don't know. Sega fucking... If it was Sega, I would definitely say, without a doubt, don't fucking touch Earthbound. But I just think it could be done. It won't, but I think it could be done. Okay, why are you targeting me? Please. Alright. See if I can break in and beat this, because it's a named enemy, but it's the same level as us, which is the problem. Yeah, I don't know. I can't talk on Call of Duty, though, I'm gonna be honest. Never played it. Well, no, I played a bit of it. I played, what was it, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops when I was younger, because my friend MJ had it, and I would play it with him. I was not good at it, but I did play it. Oh, I guess we're gonna die. So, I don't know. I really don't have much more to say about this debate. I feel like it's not really going to matter much because at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to convince each other that it's at all going to go anywhere, I guess. Because it's like, I don't think I'm going to really change my perspective because I've already heard these arguments before and I don't agree with them. I don't think they're horrible arguments, I just don't agree with them personally, and that's all it comes down to. Oh, great. Oh, wonderful, and it's a spiked enemy. Okay, let's do a little walk away here. Yeah, fucking Sonic Colors sucks, by the way. I don't care what people want to say about it. I don't care if people want to fucking say, oh, the game was always great. No, it wasn't. People just fucking... Genesis fans just were mad that adventure stuff had stories, and they wanted no stories in their Sonic games. To the detriment of basically everybody, and it was fucking terrible. As for the idea of letting Toby Fox make the next Earthbound, Toby did his own game well, but I've been in fandoms long enough to know they tend to get hung up on the wrong things, caring about the window dressing rather than the substance. To be fair, Toby might be different. I don't think he's really done that, though. Like, Toby has been pretty fucking good about how he's approached the game, and in fact, he seems to ignore the fandom for the most part, mainly because he said this in an interview, the fandom fucking scares him. He doesn't actually know how to deal with it because of the fact that it's just way more enormous than he was ready to deal with. So he's just kind of ignored a lot of it. He doesn't have a choice, but fandoms, I don't think, are really a fair critique because anything could have a bad fandom. I know there's people who hate Fire Emblem Three Houses, for example, because the fandom around it is a lot more obsessive about the characters and stuff. But I don't think that changed anything. Breath of the Wild has very obsessive fans too, which I've heard some Zelda fans deride because they like Zelda and Link's relationship and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I just don't care what fandoms do. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of a game. I wasn't talking about the Undertale fandom. You're misunderstanding me. Oh, okay, you're talking about the Earthbound fandom. I don't see him doing much. There would probably be a couple of subtle references here and there. You know, a couple small things. But that's because, of course, there's going to be. I think, irregardless, even if Itoy made the next, or like another Mother game, I think it would have a couple of references. Because that's just how it is, you know. They'd have Mr. Saturn in it, because they usually have him, at least. You know, and they'd have a couple of funny little things, a couple of gags that are like, oh, wow, haha, that's like the thing they said in Earthbound, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, as long as it's not super abrupt and annoying about it, I actually think it's fine. You know, what I wouldn't like, I guess, to compare to the thing that you were talking about, Middle Earth, what would be kind of cringe is if just like a character, somebody was trying to get in a door and they're just like, you shall not pass. And they're like, oh no, just kidding with you, fucking. It's like, that's not funny because it's such an overt, obvious reference in a way that's kind of stupid. And that's not good. Like, that's just bad writing. I don't care. But I don't think he would do too much with it. And considering what he did with Undertale, it's like, I think if he was doing an Earthbound, he would just do something real different. But that's how I feel about it. Alright, so let's go see what this fucking door thing was about, since Alva seemed particularly interested in us getting to this. Instead of, you know, actually going to Sword Valley like we were supposed to.
The letters are worn and difficult to make out. But it's definitely the language of the High Entia.
They look just like the lettering on Prison Island.
If only we could. Just walk inside.
And then Dunban turns around, you shall not pass! He's like, oh, sorry, I was just referencing this book I really liked.
This place.
Something up, Shulk?
No, it's just... I feel like I know this place.
Deja vu.
I'm not sure, but...
This is indeed the place where his parents died.
I thought I had it. I can't seem to recall...
Are you all right?
What? Must be tired. Don't worry.
This is Osse Tower. Built by the High Entia to house and protect the Monado. The ceremony of seers was conducted here. It is also where the Homs found the Monado.
Wait, you mean... So this is where the Monado was kept. My dad took it from here. Have you always been able to see the future? You told me you were from a long line of seers. Did you have the ability from birth?
Once, I too came into contact with the Monado. Those that are to be seers must touch the Monado, and a chosen few receive our power. That is the ceremony of my family.
And the ceremony was held right here.
Shulk, why do you think we can see the future?
I hadn't really thought about it. After I grabbed the Monado, I just saw things.
Your visions are the flow of ether itself. Ether is the very source of our world's existence. Where and how much ether there exists now and in the future can be predicted. Therefore, in principle, the future of living beings such as us can also be predicted. And there is one thing that makes possible the visualization of those predictions.
You mean... the Monado?
The Monado can disrupt the ether, allowing you to release certain powers. Which means...
my visions, under the same principle, are there to disrupt the future.
With no one to control the outcome, the future will never change. But what if someone were to disrupt the future? What then?
The future would be changed. Is that how Zanza planned to defeat the Mechonis? But why go to such lengths? What happened all those years ago?
Did you think it was just a myth?
I used to only believe in what I could see. My home, my friends, the Monado itself. I knew those things were real.
But when you took the Monado in your hand, you gained the ability to see that which was not meant to be seen.
Are you saying I should stop?
You are a fluctuation. As a fluctuation, you exist outside the results of your predictions. The more you accept this existence, the more malleable the world becomes. In fact, you have no choice but to accept it. Good morning. Did we sleep well?
Oh, I can't feel my face or feet. What do you think?
Rhine not tell truth. Rhine snoring make Ricky think of Orluka.
Oi! I don't snore.
Sword Valley is just around the corner.
Wouldn't it be some shit if Earthbound 4 did happen and Ness is either the main character or a party member and then it ends with him reduced to a skeleton? I'd hate it. Dude, that'd be so fucking funny. Like, for real. Confirming that Pat was right to begin with. That'd be peak. See, and you kind of screwed up the ceremony by taking the Monado. You know, it is what it is. I'm fucking... You know, realistically, do they need that many seers? So Ether is basically Mako energy and the Force. Kinda. What if some blue-haired girl and her imaginary friend were to keep going back and messing with things until they got the future they wanted? That, I think, would result in a pretty strange game. But, you know, life is pretty strange sometimes. Also, I've never fucking played that game. Wait, wasn't Naive like a swear word to Quick? Yeah, it was. He was not a fan of it. So, you know, I'm not as bothered by it like him. I just think, for me, it's like, okay, well, I think we can argue this without that, and that was why I was kind of bothered by it a little more. Hey. I may be slightly under-leveled, but I have no idea if that's the case or not. So we'll find out. I'd like to see if I could gain one more level before we get to the bottom of this, for reasons you will find out about. Because I'd like to see if we can get to this next story thing before we cut off for today. It feels like every stream we bring them up somehow. Well, that's true, but you ended up bringing them up this time, so that's on you, buddy. Hearing that pronounced as Quick was kind of surreal after having watched a Linkara video about Superman meeting the Quick Bunny. Yeah, well, that is how it's supposed to be pronounced, like Quickville. That is what his initials are supposed to be pronounced as, I guess, if we're judging by what he said. So, I just think it's easier than typing out the whole name every time. Yeah, but especially because judging by what you said in the vlog, triggers a primal response. No, just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. The funny thing is, I don't really mind him popping up a lot, but that's just because, like, I think it's anybody who's actually gotten into the lore behind him just kind of tends to bring him up because he's such an interesting figure to most people. I wouldn't be surprised if Quick Bunny was a quick Sonic shoot character. You know what? Yeah, that does sound like something that would exist. Triggers some primal rage, making me ready for Mortal Kombat. Fuck it. I think it's funny. I only know the actual theme, or wait, no, dun 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 or dun 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 dun. It was one of the is the one that I always saw. Because there was I've seen a couple different versions, but that's the fucking the one I mainly remember. It was in a video I watched when I was a kid. It was just a compilation of a bunch of fucking weird ass videos. I don't even remember what the fuck it was anymore, but that's how I heard that theme for the first time. And I wondered when I heard it, it's like, is this related to the game series? Like a fucking idiot. You know, but I don't know. I didn't like Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. I'm gonna be real. I thought it was really fucking annoying. But that's mainly because my friend MJ, like, for some reason, would only fucking buy fighting games. And so I ended up having to play a bunch of them. I don't even like fighting games. So, like, it just fucking was annoying. See, that second one sounds like the corner theme from the first Ace Attorney game. It kind of does. They share a similar sound, weirdly enough. They're not exactly the same, but they are similar, which I thought was kind of funny when I found that out. Yeah, that's basically all you need to know about Mortal Kombat. The original games are those kinds that a lot of people are nostalgic for, but aren't that good. I just didn't care for it either way. Though I guess I did play the classic games, but I also played mainly Armageddon, which I don't think people liked. But that was the one MJ had, and I did not care for it one bit. I thought it was kind of bad. There's a lot of characters, and I thought that was cool, but like to me it was so frustrating that the only way to play it was to basically go into the menu and then look at what attacks you could do for each character, and they were all fucking just like kind of annoying to pull off because pressing up makes you fucking jump half the time. And so it's like, okay, well, I can't get that to stop, so like I can't do this fucking attack correctly. It would just make me mad. Might fight these guys just because why the fuck not? Although I'm kind of worried if I die, I'm gonna have to go all the way back. But yeah, I don't like fighting games, never have. You know, and I know some people really like it. It's just not my thing. I don't think I'll ever get the appeal either. I think it's always going to be one of those things that just, like, never makes any sense to me. I've given several chances to a bunch of different ones. And it's like, I finally ended it off when I tried to play, what was it, King of Fighters, one of them. Because Terry got into Smash, and I'm like, wow, I really don't like this still. Also, fighting games, you're supposed to play them with, like, people, and that's hard to do sometimes. So I just don't like it. That's because you didn't play Mortal Kombat 4, the best Mortal Kombat game. I don't think I would have liked any of them, is the thing. Gotta play Carmageddon on the 64. Ooh, okay, well, I didn't get his defense down, but it worked. Yeah, from my memory, people loved the first 3 Mortal Kombats, and the series kind of entered a dark age up until Mortal Kombat 9 when the series was revived. I haven't followed through because it kind of gets stupid. Yeah, I'm just not interested in it either way. Again, I don't like fighting games, so I'm not going to play them. The only other thing I remember is there used to be a rivalry between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2. That was true. I guess of the two of them, I'd probably prefer Street Fighter, but that's just because, like, I prefer the more colorful, fucking fun one to the, hey, the gimmick is that it's gory one, because that's not very interesting to me. In fact, I think it's kind of gross. It's like, what a lame fucking gimmick. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get it before we get to the bottom of this, so I'm going to go get this quest real quick, and then we'll go from there. The funny thing is, I've been wanting to stream some fighting games because I've been hankering for an excuse to use my arcade stick. Honestly, I don't know if I would watch it, just because I find them boring to watch Anna play. Fighting games never click with me either. I don't even like Smash. That's the only one I like. And the thing is, I think it's because Smash is more platforming focused and shit. And so it made a lot more sense to me. And the games control a lot like Kirby games, so it wasn't like it was hard to get used to them. Now, it took me a long time to get a wrap around things like what the fuck the dodge was for. when I was a kid. In fact, for a while, me and MJ had a rule that if you used the block or the dodge or the grab, you were cheating. And that rule only disappeared once I or him figured out how to use it, and then it wasn't cheating anymore. It was fucking really funny. Yeah, that's basically how I feel about the rivalry as well. Mortal Kombat was a series all about its gimmick. That said, this side I took in, the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter debate, was the correct answer is either Samurai Showdown or King of Fighters. I see you're one of the few people who actually played King of Fighters and knew who those characters were before they got into Smash, because it seemed like to me, like I remember, and this is kind of forgotten, but the whole thing was leaked. Terry specifically was leaked prior to his announcement. It wasn't him that we knew, but we knew it was an SNK character. And it was just a lot of fucking, like, random guesses as to who it could be. Like, oh, maybe it's Iori from this, or maybe it's, whatever her fucking name is from Samurai Showdown with the bird. You know, it could be, like, all these different characters. And I was like, it's gonna be fucking Terry Bogard, because he's still the most well-known of this set. And even then, I guarantee you, if people had not known about it ahead of time, people would have been fucking mad. Just because it was a character they didn't know who it was before. They should put Sonic in Smash. That'd be cool. They do have him in there, but I feel like they didn't do a good job of actually making him feel like he's a part of it. But that's just me. So, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I also thought what was really funny about Smash announcements is that as the Fighter Pass went on, it went from, oh, I'm just excited to get cool characters, to, oh, well, I don't want first-party Nintendo characters. You know, after Terry and all these other third parties, I think this is going to kill me. We'll see. Yeah, it's definitely going to fucking kill me. So we get to walk. It is what it is. But, then it was like, oh, I don't want first-party characters, but any third-party characters are cool. And then when Kazuya got announced, and literally almost nobody from the Nintendo community even knew who he was, suddenly, no, it needed to specifically be a character I knew about, and it needs to specifically be Scrimblow Blimblow from my favorite N64 platformer, Scrimblow Blimblow's Big Blowout Blast. It only had one game release and was never talked about again, and the ownership rights are completely up in the air. Because the company who made it is out of business and nobody knows what happened to it, and I want that character in Smash. And if they don't add it, then I'm going to be very mad, and I'm going to say the whole Fighters Pass was bad, because fuck Nintendo. They don't make any good character choices, because they keep putting in JRPG characters, and I didn't play any of these. Sure, I could play them, but no, that's illegal for me. I can only play like 5 games. They should put Mario in Smash. That'd be cool. That would be pretty cool. Remember when Sonic failed at saving Pikachu? That was indeed sad. And what was even worse is then after that, you got put through one of the worst fucking story modes in any game I've ever played. Yeah, and Terry Bogard is awesome. Like, just as a character, one reason I like King of Fighters is because I enjoy the story stuff as much as the games. I like the character designs, but, like, I just don't really care for the gameplay much, and so that means I don't really care much about it. But, like, so here's the thing. I'm going to preface this with this. I literally am not mad about a single character we got in Smash at all, and I'm glad they got in because there are people who like them. Terry was like the second least interesting fighter that got into Smash to me for the entirety of Smash Ultimate's DLC. Now, if we're talking overall, then I might say Isabelle and Incineroar below him because, like, fucking, those were bad choices. But, I felt like the fighting game characters they added were just kind of like, eh, and I feel like there were probably other SNK characters they could have added that would have been more interesting to me. But it is what it is. It's not a big deal. Again, I'm not angry about any of the characters. I'm never going to be like, oh, they wasted a slot on this character because I don't know, or I don't like them, or I don't care about their games. Like, no, that's not how it goes, okay? If I can sit there and say Pyra and Mithra were, like, fucking awesome additions because it meant a lot to me, then it'd be kind of fucked up to be like, oh, well, suddenly Kazuya shouldn't have been in Smash because I don't care about him. Wait, Sonic and Pikachu. Odd pairing. I'm fucking missing some chat things real quick. The Fatal Fury animes from the 1990s, 2 OVAs and a movie are genuinely fun to watch, though they do things I disagree with, Fatal Fury being the game Terry is originally from. I think the only thing I've seen from that is stuff from Mai Shiranui in the Death Battle video they had about Mai Shiranui versus, what's the fucking name of the cat girl? Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Why can't I remember it? Felicia. That was her name. It took me a second. I'm sorry. Fucking, she's from Darkstalkers. I knew that. But couldn't remember her name. You mean you ain't upset Sora took Gino's spot? Well, firstly, he didn't, because Gino was announced as a Mii costume before Sora came out. so he definitely didn't steal a slot. But secondly, I'm not gonna fucking get mad at a character getting in over character. I'm sad Gino didn't get in. Like, I would have liked him to get in. But realistically, it's like we had a lot of Square Enix characters, and I understand Sora was logically the way better choice from like a marketing standpoint than Gino. Because Gino would have made Smash fans happy, but Sora makes a lot of other people happy and gets more people to play Smash. So this reminds me, I recently found out that there was a King of Fighters anime made in 2017 or so, so I watched it, and unfortunately it turned out to be bad. Yeah, that do happen sometimes, unfortunately. Okay, we fighting? This guy, preferably, would be what I like to fight. Meant to put Gino in quotations. Yeah, well, again, I don't think any character stole character slots. In fact, I think Gino wasn't put in Smash because Square doesn't want him in. I don't think they care, because it's not going to make them as much money. And that's why I'm calling we're getting a Super Mario RPG remake instead of just putting it on Switch Online, because we can get way more money out of that. Now, again, I'll be fucking down for a Super Mario RPG remake, but still. I shall have to look up his death battle. Your mind straight out said bye Felicia to her name. I guess it did, but I did remember it. So there's that. What was the name of the main girl from Darkstalkers, though? The succubus one. I don't remember her. I've only heard her name probably like 2 or 3 times in total. Does Sora have Geno Whirl, though? No, he doesn't. Honestly, I don't really like how Sora plays in Smash, but I think that's because he plays a lot like how he does in Kingdom Hearts, and I don't really like how Kingdom Hearts feels as like a game. It's hard to play it for me. The succubus was named Morrigan. Okay, yeah, I remember Morrigan. Again, never played Darkstalkers, so to me it's like, I don't remember exactly what the name was. This seems like fitting weather for what's about to happen. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, because it would have taken me a bit to remember it since it's not like a name. I'm fucking that. I've never played Darkstalkers. I've literally only seen pictures of her, and I think I saw one like YouTube channel back when Smash Ultimate was first getting DLC say that maybe Morrigan would get picked, and it's like, you do realize they kicked Mai Shiranui out because of how she was designed. Do you really think they're gonna throw in fucking Morrigan? Like for real, you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I don't understand. I don't get people, but I understand. Some people just like Darkstalkers. They wanted it to get a character. It's fair. It's completely fair. I think it's just not something that I think would have been that big of a deal, and I think it would have been really hard to fix her design for Smash, because they would have had to basically just make her a completely different character visually, because her outfit is just inherently that sexual. I know when they did Pyra and Mithra in Smash, they already had to make a shit ton of alterations to them, like adding fucking tights to Mithra, because, I mean, like in a basic sense, she just had a very short skirt on. But yeah, so let's see what's going on.
That Mechon.
It is you. Hey, that's Fiora!
Young heir to the Monado. We meet again.
Fiora!
Fiora? Is that my name? Then you know this body?
So it's true. You really don't remember us at all. Fiora, listen! If nothing else, you must remember your family. That's Dunban over there.
That's a meme.
Family. There is family. Wielder of the Monado. There is a matter I must speak to you about.
Fiora! What was that? Metal face.
It's the fucking bitch again.
Stay alert.
You killed my father!
Get him! Get away from her!
Now, let's all calm down. If I slip, I might mess up her hair.
You
You're disgusting!
Would you be so kind and hand over that dangerous toy you have? I could take it after I smash you all to a pulp. But we wouldn't want that, would we?
All right. You can have it. But only if you let her go.
I still would not just like leave that. I would be in close proximity to it until I fucking see him
Always
get
eager
up.
to please, Shulk.
But you're...
How's it going, Dunban?
Is that?
Munkar. I thought it might be. But... you're to blame for all this.
I can't tell you how badly I wanted this sword. Has this puny boy even figured out how it works yet? What are you willing to do? Would you even kill a Homs to beat us?
You dare ask that of us? Why did you betray us to Mechonis? Why did you kill our friends at the colony? Why?
You wanna know? Because it's your home.
You piece of...
Stay where you are. That thing works by remote. So unless you want me to put a hole in her neck... So what's it to be, weaklings? Grovel at my feet and beg?
We will not bow to you!
Really hit bad guy in face.
You'll pay for that, princess!
You're a traitor, Munkar, and you're not getting away.
Alright, so yeah, oh wow, we might not be able to beat this fight. He is 2 levels higher than us. Let's try to get him dazed again. Okay, at least we got his fucking health bar down a bit there. Okay, let me do this. But yeah, Hero, I don't think he was that clunky. I generally thought he was like fine in his implementation. But I get it. I'm gonna stay away from him. Oh man, he's still fucking targeting me, huh? He really is fucking angry at me. But yeah, if I can't beat this, I'm not gonna be surprised. Have your babies. Fucking Fiora definitely wanted that. You must remember you're related to freaking Dracula. Oh shit, here comes Starscream to wreck the party. Pretty much. But instead of a Mario RPG remake, they made a Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Screams game. If you remember that story. I don't even know what you're talking about. Fuck. Let's do this. Okay. Let's chain attack. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Do that. His defense. We get another. Okay, we did not get another round. I can't believe it was Metal Face was a dork all along. Kinda. Instead of Mario RPG remake, I already fucking read that. A goofy robot guy reminds me of General Grievous. I don't know. Seven Screams is an old creepypasta. I don't think they're gonna do that. But also General Grievous, huh? I did not watch Star Wars, so I have no idea. Here, let's have our HP and fill up the talent gauge, because at this point we're already like so close to death that it's like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Oh man, fucking, he barely got him down. Ooh. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're having immense trouble. I'm gonna heal myself here. Okay. Oh, don't please, Momcar, come on. I know you're evil, but Let's see. So Metal Face was being driven by a guy who took lessons from Voldo from Soul Calibur. Gosh, just like we talk about fighting games, this game gives us freaking maybe it's a reference. Oh, he's gonna kill me. Oh. Okay, we're gonna fucking take the risk. Okay, please give me another round. Oh, okay, never mind, we just won that. Oh, yeah, there we go. It was very edgy, huh? I never read it, so I wouldn't know.
You fought beside me! At Sword Valley! Why did you change sides? Why the Mekon?
You're as blind as you were then. I wanted you dead for years!
What's happening?
Is the Bionis moving?
I wanted to get to Monado so I could be the new hero!
Is that it? That's the puerile reason you killed all those innocent people! Ravaged our home!
I love this body! The power! Gunbands, you'll never win! Get on your knees and worship me!
Never. I will strike you down and all that you have become, you wretched fool. The Monado will stop you, and then you will know the shame of all that you have done, traitor!
Shut your mouth and come on!
That light!
What the?
It's not like the other Mekon.
You are right, heir to the Monado. This is the strongest Mekon ever built. Controlled by me, Egil, leader of Mekonis, an agent of Mayneth.
Leader of Mekonis? So you're the one who controls the Mekon?
I am he. We fight to free the world from the tyranny of the Bionis.
Why? Why do you trap bombs in machines? What do you want from us? Why make us fight for you?
Your questions do not concern me. I must return with this one.
Fiora! Get your hands off her! Fiora!
If you want her, come and get her. You are more than welcome on Mekonis.
Come and visit any time, Dunban!
Munka!
We're coming! And we won't give up!
Find us, Monado, Sword of the Bionis. We will meet you on the battlefield.
Fiora! We will find you! Fiora!
All right. Well, that was fucking some stuff, wasn't it? Let's see. Oh, I thought Mumkar had swords, but he had Wolverine claws. He did indeed. So I can be the new hero. Oh gosh, this guy really is Starscream. It's a fair comparison. Just Starscream would be saying new leader of the Decepticons instead of the Mekon. Crikey, yeah, shit's fucking going down. Hey, random geek, what weapon would the Slash Beast be weak to? That's the Mega Man thing. Ground Hunter, if you're talking about X4. Dang it, Slash Man. I don't remember Slash Man. I don't even know. I'm surprised we fucking beat him at level 46, so I guess I'm going to have to do some work off screen still, because I'm under-leveled, but that's okay. I usually fucking lose to that fight the first time, but I didn't for some reason.
Shulk.
She's...
Get it together, Shulk. We ain't got time to be hanging around here. I don't know what's happened to her, but that was Fiora. No doubt about it. You know what that means? She ain't dead. We gotta get her back.
Get her back. Right. We've come too far to give up now.
Then we'll go to Mechonis and find Fiora.
Just beyond there lies Sword Valley. The Mechon flew in the direction of Galahad Fortress. Fiora may be there. Will you pursue, Shulk?
Yes. We will get Fiora back.
I'm going to be ending the stream soon, but I figure let's go take a look at Sword Valley. Since we've gone all this way, we made it this far, I think we could go take a look at it. Considering we're about to exit the thing we've been on this entire time and finally make it to the Mechonis, which has been a very long time coming. Freeze Cracker, Scorch Wheel, I just looked it up. Freeze Cracker and Scorch Wheel, whatever that means. Okay, for some reason, the last cutscene made me think of Final Fantasy 13. I need to rewatch Spoony's review, but this game is hitting some similar beats, but Xenoblade is not as obscurantist. I have no idea what that actually means, like, in terms of how they compare, if that's even a good thing, but either way, I like this game, so I don't give a shit.
Oh, what the...
Is all that big sword? Oh, if he's, then ouchie ouch.
The sword of the Mechonis.
The entire valley below. The whole thing is its sword.
Something seems unnatural.
What do you mean?
Look, that flowing light. From the way it glows, it has to be ether. But it looks like it's being drawn in by something.
By the fortress. It should just be up ahead.
Father once told me that the Mechonis absorbs the ether of the Bionis and uses it for sustenance.
So the Mechonis feeds off ether? Then undoubtedly the ether serves as the Mekon's energy source as well.
Let's see, is there anything over here? It does not look like it. Okay, well, yeah, I guess they're not making it deliberately obscure and confusing. They kind of just let it be whatever it is, but there definitely is stuff going on that you probably are not aware of what it actually means. Something about the Mechonis Valley seems really unnatural. Gee, I wonder why, Shulk. You think Mechons grew on trees? Well, the thing is the actual sword itself is kind of a different story as well, though. Considering it's kind of an in-between area before we get fully onto the mechanized thing.
It looks so big, even from this distance. The fortress must be enormous.
Galahad Fortress. The frontline base of the Mechon. The Mechon that attack Bionis must all come from here.
Then there's a high probability that he's there. The golden Mechon that took Fiora. We're about to enter the Mechon stronghold. If there's anyone who wants to turn back now...
Shulk, friend should no split up. No leave friend behind. Ricky's scared, but Ricky won't go too.
Ricky.
He's right. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
All right. With this view, I think we got a good place to end off the stream. Because we sure have made it pretty far here. Because we finally made it across the, I guess, the threshold, and we're about to enter the Mechonis, where shit's gonna get weird. as you could probably already tell from the previous cutscenes. FF13 had this problem where it would just throw terms and phrases and entire concepts at you but not explain them, requiring you to stop and either read an in-game wiki or else actually go online and look up an explanation. Basically sort of like game theory bait, but 100 times worse. Wow, that does sound bad. Maybe Ricky can scare the Mechonis with the head of the piranha plant he carries around. Something tells me it's not going to end up working that way, especially because piranha plants usually eat more organic material instead of machinery. But yeah, so we've had a lot fucking happen in this stream. It's been a pretty eventful one. We made it all the way through Valak Mountain in one go, which, not surprising. It's mainly a cooldown area between, you know, the major fucking shit happening. But it wasn't too bad. Had some pretty cool story stuff right at the end here. And we're about to make it to a pretty fucking big chunk of gameplay. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. I expect next stream will be very fixated on gameplay. And that's just how it goes because this is a fairly large area with a lot of things to find and do. And that's how it goes. Dunban had to do a dance there pretty much while Ryan's about to fall over. But yeah, so I don't know. It was very fun. It was a good time. And I guess Xenoblade always is a good time to stream though. It's very chill. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but it's fun. And I like doing it. So, you know, I'm glad for the people who do show up because it is nice to see that there is some enthusiasm about it. You know, and we're making it through. We're making good progress on the game. We still got a bit, obviously. As I said, that, like, the end of the Aerith C section was the halfway point of the game, so we're just now entering, like, for real, the second half. But, hey, that's how it goes. It's a big RPG, and we're making very good fucking progress, considering. Ricky is still a Chad for admitting he's scared but refusing to leave his friends. Well, yeah, the funny thing is Ricky's this small little fucking potato guy, and he's basically going on a whirlwind adventure to take down an entire fucking, like, massive group of creatures that have killed thousands. And I've already looked up that death battle. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't really one of my favorites, but I guess to be fair, I haven't really watched many death battles in years. It was not a series that I was that into once I got a little older. So what you're saying is that Ricky is the Frodo Baggins of this story. Kinda, I guess, but a little different. He's a little less scared than Frodo, I think, but it is what it is. You know, very similar in terms of size, though. You know, at least comparing him to some of the other characters. But yeah, so I don't know. This has been fun. I'm gonna give it until 2:30, and then we'll end the stream off. Frodo being scared is one thing I hated about the movies. He's much braver in the book. I feel like he should be a little scared, though. Like, it's a big adventure. It's scary. You know, I'd be scared. But yeah, fucking... So, obviously, as I said before in the Omori stream, we're doing another Xenoblade stream before we end off Xenoblade and go back to Omori. So we'll be doing that next time. And I do want to do a Nintendo Direct reaction as long as I can get myself up on time to do it. We'll see if anybody joins me or not. I hope somebody does, because it'd be really sad to just be watching this thing alone. But we'll see. Yeah, but the movies made him basically Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. I guess, but I just think it's fair to be a little worried. But yeah, so I don't know. Actually, that's kind of an insult to Shaggy. Shaggy's a pretty scared little baby sometimes. So I don't know, but... yeah, if anybody either is up or wants to wake up a little early to watch the Direct with me, they can. You know, I would definitely be down for it. I think it'd be fun. Heck, I don't know, maybe we'll even, like, voice chat and do it if somebody wants to join in and watch it while we voice chat, because I'd be down for that. You know, so, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And go from there. And I'm going to make sure I eat after this, because I need to get better about eating. I did have something decent sized, I guess, before I did the stream, but not... I think I should have eaten something a little more, but it wasn't bad. I'm just trying to make sure I don't fucking have that shit happening again where I'm getting fucking, like, dizzy during the stream, but... I don't know. The issue I've got has been getting worse, which is funny, because I haven't worked on YouTube stuff at all, so it's like, okay, well, I don't know what the fucking deal with that is. Like, if that's the reasoning, then I sure don't get it. Not doing the outro yet. We still got a minute and a half. So I'm just talking, but yeah, I don't know, this fucking issue sucks, and it's getting kind of frustrating to deal with, and I'm going to the doctor, trying to get it solved, but it's kind of looking bad. I'm gonna be real, like, I have no idea how to solve it, or what it even is, and, It's taking a little too long to get this handled. Do a joke outro. Okay, I'll try to do that one this time then. Just for you, Jispy. But still got a minute, so we're still chilling. But yeah, so I don't know. Pray for me if you can. I'd really appreciate it. You know, because it's like, again, it's not fun what I'm dealing with. I need to work on some shit. I don't care. If the shit's gonna keep getting worse irregardless, then it's clear that it's like I should just be doing stuff so I can distract myself a little bit while I'm waiting for doctor's appointments. I'll try to be a bit nicer in my next vlog and make it only 30 minutes. I don't think you need to do all those subjects in one. Just make one vlog per subject so you're not doing fucking like 30 minutes of random disconnected subject matter. But I guess we're getting close, so I'll start doing my joke outro. This is Sayonara saying Sonosara. Yeah, the problem is my brain jumps train tracks. You just gotta write it down and just focus on the one big thing you want to talk about. You know, but either way, that is where I'm gonna end the stream because we're about to hit 2:30. So I guess I'll see hopefully somebody in the morning with the Nintendo Direct, and otherwise I hope you guys have a good rest of your afternoon. See you guys later.